at the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. This is the paint night with Renee Little. This happens, well, I just clicked on the Google Calendar, the fourth Monday of the month, and you are invited to beam in if you, I do have an echo going on here. Perfect. That means it is working. Let us know in the chat room if it's working for you and where you're beaming in from. And what I'm going to do is do a screen share here. And so you can see where you can zoom in. Like I said, if you are an artist, you are encouraged to participate. Let's see here. If you head on over to reinventingthetattoo.com, then you'll see, well, among other things, Reinventing hosts all of these shows. Up here is the What Are Your Goals? Click on this link, and then you can get some advice from Guy Aitchison specifically about your goals. But what we're doing right now is scrolling down until, well, there's the courses, so you can catch the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon. We've got Hunter Spanks doing a watercolor. These are all replays, mixed media for tattoo design with Thea Duskin. The latest news items, hey, there's this actual paint night that's going on now, a couple of the replays. And, oh, this is Reinventing 24/7. If you go to reinventing247.com or on the homepage here, you'll see we have replays. So if you don't know where to start, because you keep hearing about all these paint nights and interviews and discussion panels and all this crazy stuff, then yeah, you'll see here we've got 5 channels, 4 right here on the homepage, and then click next. We have one in Spanish. It's a Spanish discussion panel. But what I would like to show you right now is, let's see if it's working. Yep, right here, paint night. This is our calendar of Reinventing the Tattoo channel events. Yes, you have them going 5 days a week, and you can click on paint night with Renee, and it's got the description. You can add it to your calendar so you get reminders, and you will also get access to the Zoom link. So if you're interested and you like to zoom on in, feel free. But often people just kind of let us know that they're in the chat room and whatnot. And we do this for ourselves. So regardless, we're still going to have fun on paint night. Let's see. Oh, looks like Renee is getting set up here. Oh, almost. Renee, let me just plug some of the upcoming events let me just get through the rest of the script real quick. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you're on the YouTube channel, the Facebook, or the website. You could be listening the replay on the Reinventing the Tattoo podcast. We always have a Reinventing the Tattoo app in either of the app stores. It should be changing over pretty soon. So if you have the old app, just be on the lookout for a little notice that says upgrade or to download the new one. But either way, there's always tons of free stuff like this, which is great. But it's all subsidized by the stuff that we have for sale. That includes the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon with Guy Aitchison. This is for professional tattooers and apprentices. It can't teach you how to tattoo over the internet, obviously, but if you're tattooing or you're an apprentice who wants to learn how to craft your portfolio to be attractive to mentors, then every Monday at 9 o'clock, which is later today, Guy Aitchison gets together with the Reinventing crew. People beam in, people just watch. But if you beam in, you can show off your work and get critiqued. And imagine getting critiqued by Guy once a week, what that does for your art for a year or two. And it's amazing to watch. I get to watch it every week. It's the progress is, well, like I said, it's great. And there's shops that are doing it. There are shop 5-packs, so you can get a pretty steep discount if you're a studio owner and you want to give the gift to your artists and encourage a Monday night art night. There's also tons of courses from other artists. Let's see, Thea, like I said earlier, or like you saw earlier, Thea's got one. There's a whole mess of them there. So anyways, if you go to www.reinventingthetattoo.com, you can always get courses, and there's freebies for all of them you could try out. If you go to reinventing247.com and scroll down, then there's a form there. If you are a tattooer and you have a tattoo studio mailing address, fill out the form. We've got cartridges, We have inks. So if you're trying out inks or trying out cartridges, let's see, there's Cheyenne cartridges, raw pigments. Dermalize has some wraps. Watch with the videos and try them out. Reinventing 24/7. Scroll down to the bottom, fill out the form, and actually we just set it up so that it is automatically going to the shipping, so that instead of having to manually do all this stuff, yeah, it'll be automated, which is amazing. I love automating stuff. That's what I do. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's see, that calendar had all of the weekly Reinventing events, actually, and all the special events too. Weekly events are the Reinventing drawing group with Jason Leeser every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. All of these times are Eastern Standard. Mondays at 9 a.m. is an early bird drawing group. Mondays at 9 p.m. is the subscribers exclusive with Guy Aitchison. Tuesdays 10 a.m. is a drawing group with Ricardo Servant. Wednesdays at 12 noon is the Tattoo Now show. That's with me. I do all sorts of interviews, more on the collector and businessy side. Thursdays at 10 a.m. is a subscribers foundation exercise with Kier, where all skill levels are encouraged, apprentices and whatnot. Thursdays at 12 noon is the Tattoo Collecting podcast. Whew, okay, there is all sorts of special events coming up, but yeah, check out the calendar, hop on the mailing list, and then yeah, we'll send you emails. Real world events that are coming up where you can catch up with the Reinventing Live crew in person. This is, of course, pandemic pending, but we also beam out all the time. All of our events have been hybrid, and the only thing that COVID has really done is made them more virtual sometimes than in reality. Anyways, we're doing a lot of smaller events. Coming up February 5th and the 6th is a Reinventing the Tattoo Live from Red Tree Tattoo, Red Tree / True Tubes compound / event space in Columbus, Ohio. And we have art jams, seminars, and I believe I have the lineup in my head. Okay. We have Bob Tyrell is coming to tattoo and teach a seminar. St. Mark is coming to teach, paint, tattoo, and do a seminar. Jillian Marie from Pittsburgh is coming and doing tattoo and Q&A, and probably, you know, doing some drawing exercises with everybody and whatnot. Conan Lee from Valuta Tattoo, as well as tattoo release form apps, will be there tattooing, painting, and I believe teaching a seminar on organization. He's got a lot of automations and services set up for tattooers to drive their business. Actually, before I was doing all this, I mean, I was doing a lot of computer stuff forever, I suppose, but he was doing specifically so that artists can take care of their own business with the tools. And I was, at the time, I had a great tattoo shop. I was like, we're supplying the best support team in the world. We automate a lot, but we already take care of all that stuff for the artists. And anyways, let's see. Renee, I believe, is coming. We'll confirm her with her, maybe not on air. But she had talked about coming out to do painting and tattooing and discussion paneling and stuff. And who am I missing? Let me just check. Well, Derb's going to be there. This is Derb's compound there. And then let's see here. Oh, well, fucking Jesus, Guy's going to be beaming in. So at the end of the day, each day, Guy's going to be beaming in and doing some round tabling with the mentors for the day, and then leading the paint nights that are happening in the evening. Fawn Baker will be there doing tattoo collecting, podcasting, and oh, I think Nick Baxter and Ty McEwen are going to be beaming in. I guess I don't want to confirm for people that aren't confirmed. Holy shit, Jesse Smith and Nick Mitchell are doing seminars. They're going to be tattooing and doing discussion paneling, critiquing of portfolios and stuff. It's going to be awesome. The stage, Derb has a stage set up, $25 for the 2 days, and then the seminars will be extra. But and the tattooing's extra and whatnot. But again, you know, it's going to be like a small mini event. We're looking at about 100 people, and it's coming up really quickly, like it's almost 2 months now, I suppose, or a little less than 2 months, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Columbus, Ohio. More information is on the way. Tattoo Now's mailing list or Red Tree's mailing list. Pay attention. We'll be sending out the invitations like momentarily. I might even be working on that in the background because I'm working on all this stuff as we speak. Okay, other real world events, I'm just going to plow through them. April 12th, oh, sorry, April 11th to the 14th is an inspiring tour in New Hampshire at the Sam O'Reilly House. If you go to the website inspiring.tours, it's a pretty cool website domain, right? Then you can get the information. This next one with Sean Barber and Nick Baxter is sold out. It only took 48 hours. Actually, Renee's going to be going there to check it out. We'll be doing some future ones, so get on the mailing list. I believe Jake Meeks will be doing one. Christian Fernandez. I don't know. We've got a bunch of people that we're trying to figure out where to fit in, and I do think there might be another one next April though. So if you're interested, like I said, hop on the mailing list. May 20th to 22nd, Hell City, Columbus, hellcity.com. July 8th to the 10th is the Rock River Tattoo Art Expo. There's going to be a reinventing track inside of a theater building designed to do seminars and stuff. tattooartexpo.com. July 29th to the 31st is the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational in Akron, Ohio with Tony Urbanic. October 20th to the 23rd is, well, for a while there, I was saying that's going to be a full-on Paradise Tattoo gathering. I have a feeling it might just be another BYOB, but if we talk about a BYOB for a year in advance, we'll get enough people that we could do it like that. Actually, it really just means we're going to send everybody there and do whatever we can given the circumstances. Okay. A couple other sponsors that we do have that I definitely need to mention because they help us do all this stuff for free for everybody. At Interstate Ink LA is a tattoo shop that is all clean and sober, very supportive of the lifestyle. If you need to take a break, clean yourself up, and you are talented and in the tattoo world, they have a full support network. Or if you need to, you know you need to, or if your buddy in the booth next to you needs to, check it out at Interstate Ink LA, Los Angeles. Or if you just want to get tattooed, they're awesome tattooers. And a lot of people want to get tattooed in a clean place. So anyways, check it out. They're on the Instagrams. Rawpigments.co is the website for Raw Pigments. As I was saying, go to reinventing247.com, fill out your studio address. They'll send you samples. So instead of talking about it, you just try them out and they speak for themselves. WorldTattooEvents.com is Alex Van Dutch's website devoted towards tattoo conventions. It's the most comprehensive listings. Everybody keeps him up to date. Not everybody, all the tattoo convention promoters keep him up to date with their event listings. You can imagine he's going crazy these days with all of the updates. He just actually got from Vietnam. He was there for 2 years. He got over to Europe, and now everything's kind of going crazy and shutting down. So anyways, worldtattooevents.com. D-Lies Pro also has samples in that pack. They're a healing wrap designed to heal. Tattoonow.com. I'm a computer geek. I do all sorts of websites and CRM consulting for tattooers. If you go to tattoonow.com/services, I actually have an interactive video. It's like a choose your own adventure. It's pretty cool. And the whole menu of different things that we do. But primarily go to reinventingthetattoo.com, purchase the course or the business course. Last but almost first, the founder of Reinventing the Tattoo and who makes this network possible, Guy Aitchison. Go to guyaitchison.com and check out. He's got paintings, he's got prints, he's got his Biomech Encyclopedia, which is this massive 2-volume comprehensive historical modern professional development fan look at everything biomechanical. Giger has sanctioned pieces in there. He was, got permission from everybody. Bernansky, I can't pronounce his name, but the Bernansky, he's another surrealistic dark master, bio master. Anyways, guyaitchison.com. And now I'm going to hand off the mic and the camera to Renee, who is now in Florida to do the paint night. Renee, thank you very much for beaming in while you're on the road.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of myself for making it happen today. But I figured if I just plan in advance and I organized with the shop owner to work in his booth, which is soundproof, because he also plays guitar and stuff in here when he's on break. So it was kind of the
Awesome.
perfect environment. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, I can just do it in Bill's room. Perfect. So I'm glad I can too, because I don't know about everybody else, but Christmas has been just like wonderful, but also stressful. So it's, it's always just a lot to see, a lot of family, and I drove here too.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just been like really nice to just sit and paint, even though I've been doing a little player here and there when I can, but it's just nice to like do something from a little reference and take it all in.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's hot. It's also very, very hot.
Ha.
So
It's nice. It's funny. It's freezing cold up here in New England.
yeah. Oh, I would trade with you because I'm just dying in this heat. I'm definitely not a Floridian anymore.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind it all that much. I mean, I grew up here, so it's all good. I lost the all of the streams in the background, but I'm going to hop out here and try to see if anybody's in the chat rooms.
Oh,
If
okay, cool.
anybody is, let us know where you're beaming in from, and if you're painting. And yeah, it was fun. I think I replayed recently the Oculus clip where you were talking about using the Oculus,
Yeah.
and I now do have an Oculus, so I've been playing around with
Oh,
it. It's fucking amazing.
isn't it
Oh, I just got flagged.
amazing?
I just got flagged on Facebook. Sorry about that. Oh,
Oops. Wow, that was fast.
but no, that was a joke. That's from the cursor
Oh,
that I
okay.
said. I
I was
don't know
like,
if it
oh,
actually did or not, but
probably, but who knows? They are fast these days. No, that's good. Hallelujah. Oh, have you used the 3D app or the 3D drawing or painting app? Have you used
I
anything like
haven't
that
used
yet?
any of them yet. I've
Yeah.
gotten to the point where basically all I really need to do is um, find the right app at the right time with the right person, and I'll grab it and start it because it's pretty slick. Oh, look, people are watching. Jason Leeser's in. Hey, what's up, everyone? Coming through loud and clear. Melissa's there. Hey, all. Kira's on. Okay, so everybody, Kira, how do you hop on? If you go to the homepage of Reinventing the Tattoo, then the link is on the calendar of this event. I'll do another screen share real quick to show y'all.
Yes.
There we
Join us.
Hey,
Reinventing.
Renee.
Looks like
Hello.
Jason found it.
Hello.
I just got back from Florida earlier today.
Oh, really? What
Uh,
what part?
Cocoa Beach.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
driving through there. Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get tattooed by Travis Brown.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
the plan is like I'm gonna tattoo him, he's gonna tattoo me, and we're gonna high five, and then I'm gonna go home. And that'll be it. That'll be the end of my trip, and it'll be worth it. And yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Is your family in Cocoa Beach?
Yeah. I've got my parents own a condo down there, and it's where
Oh,
they spend most of their
nice.
time. So,
Oh, very nice.
it's a beautiful place too.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we
Yes,
Hey,
woke up
yes.
every
so,
morning. We were
sorry,
riding bikes on the beach.
real quick, let me show off this screen share here so people can join in. Jason, obviously you are starting to pick it up, so you could start explaining to people. But basically, for all of these events, we're now moving. We were in a private community, but we want everybody to be able to see the schedule of events, of course. So now, if you just go to the homepage of Reinventing the Tattoo, and then we have a watch link up here and click on upcoming events. It scoots you right down here to the event schedule. This is a Google Calendar, so you could add the whole calendar of events. Or if you want to find just a single event, I'm clicking on the paint night with Renee, and the Zoom link is right here. Boom, you click on this and it'll bring you there. You could also copy this event to your calendar or get more details, and then you'll get all the notifications just for these singular events. Okay, here we go. The floor is
If it
now back to
doesn't,
you guys.
what I found is that if it doesn't show up right away, because I, believe it or not, did have a little bit of trouble getting in tonight.
Yeah.
But I ended up going through, I had to log in first and then I could access the event calendar.
Oh, you logged into, would you log into to the community or?
Yeah, it's the, no, just reinventingthetattoo.com/events.
Hmm.
Yeah. hashtag events. And then, but once I signed in, everything was fine. I don't know, maybe I was in the new community, but
I haven't touched the new community. That's weird.
That is weird. Yeah.
yeah.
So they gotta log in.
Reinventingthetattoo.com/events.
Yeah, try it.
That's I did go there. That goes to a page can't be found.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird, but I got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the
Again,
only place I put it
yeah.
was on that Google Calendar. Yeah.
All right, everyone,
Yeah,
you just got to try really hard to join us this evening.
Well, you don't even have to try very hard. Just you go to the homepage of reinventingthetattoo.com, click watch events, and then you'll see the calendar there.
Not too hard.
Yeah, I probably went through some kind of a backwards way to get there. So I always tend to find the most difficult ways to do things.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
I'm the same. It's just, computers, they're witch boxes.
I mean, it is possible that you were it was emailed to you. Although, well, I literally just created the event probably, I don't know, 15 minutes before we went live because it had not been created. I guess we had moved over to the calendar after the event was confirmed, but before we had moved over to the Google Calendar for real.
So what you're saying is it might not be my fault.
No, I'm just saying there's only one spot.
That's what I'm hearing you say.
No, I'm saying there's only one spot you could have possibly gotten it, and the link didn't go up until 15 minutes previous. So
I'm just poking fun with you, man.
It's all good. You like I said, you might be subscribed to the Google Calendar, in which case you get events or whatnot. Hey, Kier, so you got it. Do you want to move your phone sideways? Or are you already trying to do that? I saw you earlier trying to do that.
Is it not sideways?
Now you might have to shake it around a little or unscreen. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay. Hello.
There she is.
Hello.
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 Always so cheerful.
How are you, dear?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
And sorry it took me a second to I was eating dinner and then I had to feed my cat and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No problem. I forgot to take down my stuff, so no one look at me do this right now. Woo. Oh, how are you? How's the weather? How's life?
This winter's been really weird. It's it just started getting cold now, which is weird.
Really?
But, it's been good. My shop's closed at the moment due to construction, so we're getting brand new ceilings and brand new lighting in the entire shop. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
that's exciting.
That's cool.
And
I'm away from my shop, and I'm sad.
Yeah, no, they've been trying to prep me all week because they're like, okay, Kier, you can't come in, okay?
Yeah, I know, but what else am I gonna do?
I'm like, this is so weird. And I just for the first day, yesterday was the first day or something like that, and I was just pacing my house a whole bunch and
yeah, I mean, everyone here, I've told them it's been really good seeing you. It's been really good seeing my family and my friends, but I want to go home.
yeah,
I'm good. Yeah, this is enough. Cool. I've got cute cats. I've got a beautiful studio. I just, traveling is, I feel like I'm going to be here forever and probably cut the trip short because a week or two is just too long. A couple days, not too bad.
Yeah, usually after 3 days, I'm yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it's convention time. Yeah, I only know convention time. I got a good 3 days in me, and then I'm all right, that was good.
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah, that makes sense. Convention time. It's pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all set now. I'm all done.
I'm all set. This shape. Yeah, dust off your hands. That was good. That was a good 3 days. That was good. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. And I'm still here. And I'm oh, that's right. But I have a huge family, so I really am kind of stoked to see them the next couple days. I only tattooed maybe a couple days this time, and I tattooed all today, which was great. It's tattooing friends from high school and shit. I don't know. It's wild being home.
I'm originally Florida.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm from St. Pete, Florida, and I worked in
Okay.
Tampa Bay and Ybor. So, yeah, this is where I've been for like 29 years, and then I moved away. And Oklahoma is just like, I don't know, it's just kind of my spot that I worked like really well and kind of found my way pretty nicely. And so I just, but Florida's home. Florida's with my entire huge family. And it's been wild. It's been a wild couple of days. So
Yeah, holidays
Yeah.
are always wild. Even though you're like just socializing, after you're done socializing, you're still like, oh my God, this is exhausting. Jeez.
yeah, I think it's like again, it's great. It's great. And especially if anyone's listening, it's really great. Now that my family's here and I'm really glad to see them. But yeah, it's just like I'm not used to that much stimulation. I'm used to like my coworkers and one client a day, and that's about it. So this is it's just a lot, especially since I haven't done a whole lot of shows. But yeah, who knows how next year's going to be? I hope for the best, but this is good practice if it goes well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think we have an idea of how next year is going to be. I mean,
What do you think, Gabe? What do you think?
I think it will be like last year, maybe 40% less. Oh, shit, are we making predictions so that we have to like come back on this and listen to our words a year later?
Yeah.
All right, Gabe, you're not putting any money down on it.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
you're not putting any money.
Well, I am putting money down on it. I've got a lot of events planned.
A lot of money, yeah.
No,
better be accurate.
My guess is that I mean, it's going to wave out, but hopefully, wave out and not like, wave up. How about that?
Yeah. How about that? I think people are just exhausted because I don't know, but like I think about, Japan or something that are really common of wearing masks. Like it's just like nice etiquette of like if you feel sick, put on a mask. So I feel in the Midwest for sure that like everyone is over it. Like my shop is still masks on, but that's a rarity. And in Florida too.
It's amazing. Over like the virus gives a shit if we're over it or not. It's amazing.
I know, but they say that they're fatigued, like mass fatigued in life, but I'm like, well, we wear them at the studio like nonstop, so we're wearing it because, viruses. And I mean, and I did have a cold for the first time, like a real cold, and it kicked my ass. Like I was down for 4 days during Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, this is it. I've been kind of concerned about what happens when we, get like a normal sickness. Like, well, what happens when we get strep? Is it like 10 times worse because we haven't had it? So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting winter, I think.
Yeah, people get it more. My daughter got wicked sick going back to college just because everything was there. But it's okay. I mean, again, getting sick isn't a super issue. It's the I don't know. For me, I just don't want long COVID.
Yeah.
I don't have enough brain cells to lose.
I smoked for like 15 years. I don't think I have enough like lung cells to lose. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel slightly optimistic that at least we're going to be getting used to it, and hopefully people will just, better coping mechanisms this time around, because that was really hard on me and a lot of people, like mine snuck up on me. Mine was like a quiet little monster. And then it was just like, holy crap, I'm being affected. Oh no. Thought I was in it to win it, but so I mean, and I didn't even have any near family members pass or anything. There's so many people around me that really, really, really like lost family and lost their jobs completely. I was really thankful to be a tattooer during those times, or an artist, because that's how I supported myself through it, So I know I'm sickly optimistic, this. But conventions are being held. What do you think about, we've got a lot of things planned for next year, but you think like a lot of conventioners are going to take it as it comes, or just say, fuck it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they kind of, well, it's crazy. I mean, a lot of people have to just throw in the towel. I mean,
Mhm.
it's the venues and stuff. I mean, everyone is in such a pickle because the venues aren't going to give up deposits if
Yeah,
it's
the venues
illegal
are
to
not
throw
being
things,
helpful. Hmm.
and so yeah, I've always been kind of running small boutique shows in the middle of nowhere, and I've never like made a killing off of it. So it's not like I mean, I'm in a unique position so that you know the events that I'm working on are already kind of geared towards this kind of thing. Um,
Exactly.
but like Hell City and stuff, it's like that's designed to have like a shit ton of people, and I'm planning on going.
Mhm.
I've got everything, ready.
Same,
Um,
same.
but
I'm gonna have my Tyvek suit and my level 3 biohazard suit all set and ready to go.
Jason, are you going?
I'm signed up to work Philly, and if anyone's been at the Philly show, you know how many people show up to that. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought about going to Philly just because of, well, everything, and yeah, but I generally have, I just am too booked and it's too crazy at the studio. I can't leave. So I was like, hey Troy, I'm going to be
yeah,
MIA this winter. And even Minneapolis, that's a show I've been doing for over 10 years. And people are like, you're not doing it. I'm like, I'm too busy. I can't. The studio is like, taking my life. It's cool. And I love it. So yeah, I was just like, I'll be MIA, till like Chicago. And then I'm going to try to do Chicago if things are cool, because I have so many beautiful, patient clients there who have waited and waited and waited. And I just need to at least see them. So even if I'm not going to do the convention, I'm going to do a guest spot, but I hope to do the convention. That's a big one too. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think people are a little bit more well practiced though, for sure. Like in wearing masks and, well, I mean, tattooers maybe at the conventions. So
yeah,
I remember like the first couple shows they tried to have when shit was still kind of coolish, and it was like so hard just to get people to comply,
yeah,
So I think now it's like, no, you get the rules, just do the rules. So hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully
But
it's
I mean,
not too strict.
there's always going to be people out there that don't want to follow those rules for whatever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I saw that a lot in at the Philly show in September, where it was,
Oh, yeah.
people were barely making it past security, where they were being told, like, listen, you need to keep your mask on the whole time. And, 4 steps away from security, and they were ripping it off. And it's like, really?
Yeah. Really?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Like, it's really not that big of an inconvenience. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't find it to be that difficult to comply with. I don't
Yeah,
know.
same. I don't know. I think, well, a lot of people I've met, and there's, a syndrome even of people not like wanting to take orders now, I guess. One of my clients was telling me about it, and it's like client lore. Is it true?
Right.
Um, but he
take
said that,
orders like
yeah,
for vaccine. Like
what?
how many other times have we had to take vaccines to do shit? Like I like
Go to high
insanity.
school, go to elementary school, travel. Yeah, travel anywhere. That's kind of third world-y. um if you're in the military, like I'm thinking like, yeah, there's so many reasons why people have to take vaccines and have taken vaccines, and I don't, I think it's just everyone's getting hyped up for the wrong reasons. Like, it's not really a miracle that we made this vaccine so quickly either. It's like the technology has been around, like we kind of know what it does. But that's just me. I don't know. I've had this conversation so much, and I'm just like, to
Yeah, we
each his
actually do
own.
have to be a little careful. Otherwise, we're either going to get banned or everyone's going to be listening or getting linked to Joe Rogan.
Well,
Yeah.
So,
yes.
anyways,
Yeah.
in the art world, although
In the art
we were
world.
talking about traveling and conventions and whatnot. So this is
Yes. And okay, so there are some people that cannot get vaccinated for medical reasons, and that is completely understandable. And I hope they stay safe. But if you can handle it, and then, yeah, okay. But yes, conventions, like, I'm just gonna see how it goes. Like, I know as an artist, I'll be pretty okay because I can weave in and out. and I don't talk like, and you're in your booth majority of the time, like away from people, and I just do appointments. So I kind of know what's going on. But I mean, there's still that variable, you know? So I now, even for my Florida trip, I'm taking time to quarantine when I get home, and it'll let me like decompress too before I go back to the studio. But you know, maybe just everyone quarantine
Like a mini
after the,
vacation from your vacation.
yeah, like, you know, just a little bit, you know, because
Yeah.
if we're all going, we're accepting what can happen, right? Like we're totally like, okay, I get it. But you know, like maybe everyone should think about it, like taking a little vacay, just a little one, a massive tattooer vacay. Maybe we can do an art project, you know, we can make it a thing. Like, all right, we all did this convention, now you know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yep, because I think I had it the first go, like, because I went to Minneapolis of 2020, and that was in February, I believe. And Rick, our friend, you know, Flip Shays just came back from like a world tour, and that he wasn't the only one. So when the shit hit the fan in March, we were like, oh my God, like we all had it. Because like we all were like, do you guys feel sick? You know, and I had a tummy ache. That was mine. But yeah, I don't know. Like we all were just like, oh shit, like did we? And there was no test. We'll never know. So I don't know. Yeah, like knowing that what we know now, why not take a little vacay?
Just makes sense.
I think that's how I kind of see it. Like I think I've quarantined myself like 3 times now, just because I felt a little sick, and it took a while to figure out with my doctor what was wrong with me. So I was just like, like I've never had a single person call me and say I have COVID, which is very suspicious. But it just hasn't happened yet. But every time I'm sick, I just like, hey, why not? Little vacay, you know? I have a scratchy throat. I think I'm gonna vacay.
Better be safe than sick.
Yeah, I've got a lot of employees where kids, like they have like immune issues. So you know, I would die if I accidentally made someone really sick. So, you know, that's just me. And I try to at least do art when I'm, you know, on my days off, or take it as like a drawing day or an email day. Like I'm still working, you know, but just at least away from people. So, but I have the luxury of doing that too. So I feel if they can't, but I try to try. You just got to try, guys.
Now, Renee, I do have a couple of questions for you regarding your art.
Yes, please.
I have like 1,001, believe it or not, but I'm
Oh.
going to keep it to the short list for this evening.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yes, that's fine.
So you do work quite a bit with watercolors.
Yes.
As I've noticed and watched and, you know, gotten a chance to observe.
Yes,
Is there a reason why you choose that specific medium?
yes. Convenience and like drying time, storage time. I like the brightness and clarity I can get from colors. It's pretty easy to keep your paint separate from each other once they dry. And so a lot of times I would have like oil paints melt in my car. I live an extreme life, so I need an extreme paint. Yeah. And they are easily cleaned off. So I don't need to carry a solution with me. And the brushes, same thing. I can like just find like a random hose or a pedal or something if I, you know, it's like they're just they're a little bit more user friendly when you're traveling, and I don't need a lot for them. The watercolor paper in itself is really easy to carry. Like I usually carry around a moleskin like this, and I paint a lot of plein air in it, and that's a new book, so I'm not showing anything yet. Yeah, especially for the plein air painting, it is for me very versatile. I know we have problems, you know, if it's raining or anything like that, that's really moist. But you would have that anyways with oil paint or anything, you would have to leave. So to me, they're very travel friendly. And sometimes I'll even keep a big Ziploc bag and keep my sketchbook in it. So in case I don't splash anything, it doesn't get wet, just look, when I'm not using it. But yeah, I traveled so much that I can literally put watercolor anywhere. And I can just, for me, it's very versatile. And the fact that I can I can paint with it very thick. I can keep doing layers. I don't have to use a fixative when I'm done. And I don't have to use any special coating. Like I don't have to use any special coatings. I mean, as far as fixative goes. And yes, it's just a versatile, like it's more versatile than acrylic, because acrylic for me would also dry out. And I have like, and you have to use more of it, where like a little scotch of watercolor will last you like months and months and months if you allow it, it depends on how much you paint. And I don't have to use that many brushes either. It's very easy to control. So I can get like a big glob or a very fine tip, whether or not how I pressure my brush. So I travel with like 3 brushes. And this is my like big, I have like a big boy, I got a middle boy and a little boy. And that's in my bowls. And I keep it simple. So yeah, and these are even collapsible silver swan brushes. And I love these guys. These guys are great. And yeah, the palettes even are just like very simple, and I can put even multiple colors on one side, I kind of keep it to tones. And you could be very expressive with it, like I don't have to draw things out normally unless if I'm just like sketching something. And watercolor is cool for this too, where you can't do with thick acrylic or thick oil, or oil really, but I can paint something with just the watercolor. And if I want to, then I can even go in with a pencil afterwards and add details or pen or anything. So you can use it as a mixed media as well. It goes well with inks, and even liquid acrylics. And yeah, it's pretty, that's why. Sorry if I gave you like a crazy long answer.
No. That you actually hit on a lot of different points I was going to ask you about.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, real quick, I think that the way this is beaming out, Melissa, if you could just move your, right now the sticker is on the right-hand side of the camera. If you could move it over to the left hand, then the Reinventing logo wouldn't be like right over the art. Yeah, that's cool. Even a little bit more over, so that's perfect. Yeah, there you go. Just because on the right hand side of your camera is where our logo is. Perfect. Carry on, everyone.
Oh, okay.
So there's question number 1. I did a lot of aqueous media work when I was in college, just because it was so portable. I could work on things in between classes.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Oh, that was adorable. I agree. Yeah.
I had it down to a science where I would grab one of those water pens, like the Pentel water pens.
Yes, those are
And
amazing.
I picked up a set of, I think it was the Derwent Inktense pencils. And I would take all the wood off of them with a razor blade, and I would just use those as my palette.
Oh, nice.
And so I would just take that water brush and I would run it right along the tip of the watercolor pencil. In fact, I think I still have some of those around here, but it worked absolutely amazing as like a portable palette. But I was also very, very working in very, very small concentrated areas.
Yeah, you can like literally stick watercolor on anything and it'll dry, and just it's just there. So cool. Have you tried the watercolor pencils? So you can like draw with them and shade with them, and then take one of those water pens and then smush it around with that. Oh, that's cool.
So these are some of the ones I had from college, and I don't know how well this is going to be able to focus on it, but
you can see it.
Yeah, you can kind of see, how like weird of an angle it is. And that's all just from melting down the internal parts of the watercolor pencils that I would use. And then I would just grab a piece of plastic wrap Use that as like or a piece of aluminum foil or something like that. Clean it off when I was done, and that was my entire watercolor setup. And I could take it anywhere.
That is so cool.
And played around with a whole bunch of different ones. Hey, I was a broke college kid. I had to find a way to make it work.
Yep.
And I couldn't always afford all the oils that everyone else was picking up. So
oh my gosh, that too. Yeah, when I decided to really pick up oil painting, I don't know, I forget who I was talking to, but I was like, they were like, why do you sound so nervous? I'm like, because it's so expensive. And
yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, those years when we were super broke. Bless you. We were super broke.
Right?
Those are the years that taught us like to really respect our paint mediums though. Like, you know, I don't know. It was like I couldn't think about the expense. I said, I need to be an oil painter. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna do this, you know, like I realized what was important to me, and that was books and oil paints and brushes. And I would buy that over food. Oh God.
Yeah, I remember sitting down in college the one day debating, do I really want to get this brush, or do I really want to eat dinner tomorrow night?
Yeah. Or just ramen every night, you know?
Well, yeah.
I can foresee the future. I'm just gonna eat ramen from here on out. Yeah, it's like I wanted to
not good for your sodium levels.
No, actually, I found out there was a coating on ramen that if you eat it for like more than twice to 3 times a week, your stomach isn't digesting it. It's just sitting.
You're talking about like the ramen brand?
Yes, the ramen in the package. Yeah, not like fresh, awesome ramen.
Yeah, there's a wide varieties of,
Yeah,
I believe it.
like, yeah, the $1.90, like, or the 99-cent packet of like, dried ramen in a packet.
Damn, 99 cents. I'm dating myself. I used to be like, never mind.
50-something cents? Oh, I remember.
50 something. I'm gonna tune back out now. Cheers.
I remember
back when it was 10 cents a pack.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm young. I know. I'm a young whippersnapper.
I will stay silent.
Yeah.
Kier, you have no room to comment, Kier. You don't remember those days. Gas was a nickel a gallon, and ramen was 10 cents a pack.
I'm trying to think. I think honestly, I'm thinking maybe 39 cents was the lowest I remember ramen. Yeah, I think so. I remember when gum used to be like 65 cents. Oh well, we're old, whatever. Yeah, you youngin'.
When the internet, my past days right now.
Oh, well, the internet, gets shut off. We know that you'll come running to us. How do we do this? And so we'll
I'm like every day.
I can't look up any new ramen recipes. What do I do? Listen, here's what you'll need.
Here you go.
Right now it really is, because I'm paying the taxes for the first time, like out of pocket. So I'm like, Mom.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I remember the panic. Oh,
I'm terrified.
It never goes away, honey. Never goes away.
Always set aside 30% of all of the money that you make throughout the year.
Yep.
30%. Set it aside. Put it in a cigar box. Put it in a separate bank account. Do whatever you got to do.
Bank account. Do a bank account. Buy gold doubloons with it. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I mean, if you can afford gold doubloons, I hear they're pretty pricey these days.
They are. Yeah, my family does that. We're pirates.
Yar.
But no, yar. If you don't spend all of that on your taxes, buy gold doubloons with it and bury it somewhere. Leave a treasure map.
Put a single clue out on the interweb and see if anyone can find it.
This is terrible advice.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Invest in something. Invest in yourself.
Bingo.
Buy some new art supplies. Buy some tech supplies. Support your local small businesses of tatters.
Go get tattooed by Renee Little.
Yeah.
Renee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come visit you soon, okay?
Okay. Please, you'll love it. I've got 3 cats, and they're beautiful, and we can paint and have fun. And I think you'll like the studio. I think it's a pretty magical place.
Seems magical. Yeah, you got
Mhm.
Mary and Pippin, right?
Yep. And Miss Graham, who can do no wrong. No, they are. I found out they're Norwegian forest cats.
They look
So,
it.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a DNA test for them. But so far, I mean, people have identified, and they are huge already. So I just kind of laugh it out because they're like free. They're like free log cats, found in the forest without a mom. And I'm so glad I bottle fed those little cuties because they're like attached to me. And they're going to be like huge, furry 2-year-olds. Pippin's already got his little fangs hanging over his bottom lip, and they have their manes. Oh my God, I die. I just die every day looking at them. They're so cute.
I was
They are my
talking to my roommate and saying that our cats' jobs in their life, the only thing they got to worry about is just being cute. That's it. That's your entire
yeah. That's all you have to do is be cute. Yes.
Give me attention when I sit you on my lap. That's it.
Yep. Yep. Well, I'm thinking they've been so expensive because they were really sick. So I spent quite a bit of money on them when I first got them, vet bills and stuff like that, and all that kitten milk. Oh my God, that stuff's expensive. So I was thinking of starting like a little series for them and doing like little cat watercolors and like, setting up like a little thing for them. So I can just like whatever proceeds of the cat watercolors I sell will go towards their cat bills. And I think that'd be really cute. I'm trying to think of his name. I also watched that movie on Netflix about the cat artist named. If someone's watching and knows what I'm talking about.
Cat artist?
He's a cat artist from like the late Victorian era, and it was like he just made these crazy looking cats that were like super fancy, and that's what he was known for. And oh my gosh, I'll think of it. Then I'll probably text you guys later. Like, boo, I got it. But I don't know. I think they're very charming looking cats, and I think I could definitely paint them real cute. And then maybe like make like, a 30th job for myself.
A 30th job.
Because you need another project to work on.
I do. Always. Always. I don't know, how many projects have you guys got going on?
Any?
Yep.
Prefer
Exactly.
not to answer.
Exactly.
More than I care to admit.
Mhm.
Actually, I only have 4, but one of them's huge.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's a 6 foot by 3 foot Art Nouveau painting of peonies.
Ooh, do you have it? Do you have it nearby?
I can try to wheel it into the room.
Oh,
said
okay. Never
It's
mind.
6 feet by 3 feet. It's not
Oh,
small.
okay. Oh, I'm thinking about that now. Okay, that's big. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, it's awkward
That's
to move
beautiful.
around.
Oh, I want to see it. Okay, well, we have to show us later or put it in the forum. Put it in the
Oh, I
community.
will. I'll be posting progress pictures. I might even live stream some of it.
Oh, good.
I just got, so I designed it all on my iPad, and then I got everything
Mhm.
transferred over to the canvas.
Mhm.
And now I just have to find the motivation to actually start throwing paint down.
Mhm.
So, but it's all laid out. It's ready to be painted, and it's just a matter of time. It's been about a
It's. I
year,
mean,
year in
it's
the
a
making.
process. Oh man, I just built. I don't like using canvas anymore, but I get it. But for some reason, I'm like, ooh, I could do so well on like a really nice finished wood, and I get real nerdy about what kind of wood it is. Like I'm in Home Depot, just like knocking on things.
Do I
And
want to
like
go with the
feeling.
poplar or the cedar or maybe the oak?
Yeah. Oh, go for as hard as you can. That's what I go.
Yep.
Harder, denser you can. And I'll like sit and stroke it, and I'll look at the angles, and I'll just like, people I think I'm insane, but whatever. And
The
so I
wood is
get it
speaking
home.
to me.
Yeah. And so I put a frame in it, like it's one big solid piece. And I take like a week to sand it some more. Then I gesso it, then I sand it, then I gesso it again, and then I sand it, and then I gesso. I mean, I'm going for like pure archival, like people, my coworkers sometimes get to witness it. Usually I do it after everyone leaves, and that's when I paint really, like late into the night is when I
Now,
make.
are you using clear gesso to preserve the grain of the wood?
No, I use a white, and then
Okay.
and then I sand it, so that's really smooth. And I kind of like that texture. Like the paintings that I've been doing recently have been they need to be really smooth, like it, so I can get across what I need to. If there's any extra shadows or texture, I think it would be confusing. So a lot of times, yes, I will use a clear to save the texture. Like I'll draw on directly, and then I'll use a clear gesso. And then you still see, you see all that beautiful wood grain. But I mean, I just look for like work being, and I look, because I want that nice like porcelain, gessoed surface sometimes for my oil paintings. Because I'm trying to do a little bit more geometric, like smooth shapes, like a little bit more bio.
Okay.
I'm diving into that again. I feel like it's winter time, so I'm kind of wanting to do something a little, and I need a really, really smooth surface to get all that across and make sure like the shadows I want are completely intended and nothing is too confusing. So, but man, I love it. It's like, like it takes like a year to like prep something sometimes and get it right. And like make sure like your image is really on there correctly before you start, like the bones of it before you start. Like I think I drew this guy for like, I don't know, Gabe, like 30 minutes or something while you were talking. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta draw this bird. And like, I was like, it feels like it took me forever. I probably paint it faster than I drew it. And that's watercolor, oil, ooh, months, years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually the big painting that I'm working on is a commission painting that my friend Sydney commissioned me for. And she wanted it to be acrylic on canvas. And I was like, oh, all right, I can do this. I can do this. I got this. I think I remember how to paint with acrylics, maybe. So, it takes a little bit sometimes to like remember some things, but
Oh yeah. I mean,
but
you can always practice paint.
Yep.
I'll do that. I'll take a little scrappy and just practice paint. Actually, that's the birds during COVID that I painted. That's how that started. I have like a whole other project I was doing, and I was like, whoa, before I start this complicated thing, I should do some practice paintings. And then I was like, I haven't painted a bird in a long time. This is nice. And so I just kept doing it. And voila. But practice paintings are good when you start a medium back up again, because then you're not so intimidated and you're not going to fuck up. And if you fuck up, you don't care. And that we're going to get flagged by Facebook again because I keep saying the F bomb.
Oh,
Is
that's
Facebook,
okay. You mean Meta? Isn't it because they changed their name?
Did they? That's stupid.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Well, Facebook's a pretty stupid name. I mean,
Yeah.
very stupid name. I mean, if you're gonna have like, a third of the world log into a place, personally, I do think that is a better name than Facebook. But,
Yeah. It sounds more like,
I'm not saying I like them or not, but
Meta sounds more menacing. Like I must enter the meta.
there's going to be a billion people entering the meta soon.
I know.
That VR shit is so cool.
I've already been on it, and yeah, you can see concerts. You can go hang out your friend that lives like hours away. You can it's weird, but it's cool. I mean, there's also people who harass you on there, and I like had a panic attack the first time I was harassed because I couldn't get away from this dude. And then my friend was like, nah, dude, just press this button. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Who was that? And so you could still like get harassed by strangers. It's really funny.
I'm really sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, it's all right, man. I've healed. I've healed.
Okay.
Yeah. Panic attack, and then I realized, wait, I'm in my living room.
I say I'm from this generation, but I'm not about it.
No, I figured you young whippersnappers would love it. But yeah, I mean, but there's so many sci-fi movies that say that it's just weird, you know? That's where I'm coming from. Like, well, I was raised on, post-apocalyptic shit that sounded a lot like this, but it's probably okay.
And hey, Skynet's real.
Yeah. Dude, that's why you got to be nice to your Alexa. Always.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not about it. I'm all set.
Always be nice to your electronic devices, because remember, one day when they take over the world, they're going to be in charge of you.
I always say hi to Marty at the grocery store.
Exactly.
Mhm. Exactly.
Always
Mhm.
gotta-
Oh, so I feel like I need to plug where I'm at. I'm at Momentum Tattoo in Tampa, Florida, and I'm in Billy Toller's booth right now. So thank you, Billy, for letting me use your booth. And I'm here because my old apprentice, Josh Presley, is now working, or he's been working here, and he's rad, and he does rad stuff. And this is who I come work with when I come to Tampa. I prefer to be with my homies like the whole time, and they're cool. They're rad. They're good. They're a good group of people.
That's always important.
Oh yeah, I'm always really glad when I can just like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like just commandeer people's shit. Then your family. They're like, hey, I'm gonna use your booth, and they're like, okay.
Sounds
I've
familiar.
been at guest spots where they were not so friendly, and I was like, fine. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, that's just what I'm used to. If you ever come to my studio, that's pretty much how it is. Like, what do you need? We got it.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line though between being that person that, is in that well with whoever's doing the guest spot or whoever owns the place or whoever works there,
Mhm.
and then being like a random person that stops by to do a guest spot and then ends up like asking
Oh yeah,
everyone for everything.
everything. Yeah, no, I've been here for years. Like when I guest spot, I'm here, and yeah, like me and Josh, like I think we're like coming up like way past our 10-year friendiversary. So
Aw.
we're like brother and sister really about stuff. Like when Gabe, when you were setting up, he put on this fucking, like he like just started blaring booty music in the background. I was just flicking him off through the window. I was like, shut up, you jerk. It was funny though. But yeah, I don't know. I have that's why I do love Florida. I have like a lot of really cool relationships here with guys that I've worked with for years. And I don't know, I miss my people, but I love my staff too. Like they're all really cool. But yeah, it becomes family once you're at a place for a really, really long time.
Do you ever do any plein air beach painting?
Actually, yes. And I'm going to be doing some this trip, hopefully, not tomorrow, but the next day. Um, and I also plan to go to my aunt and uncle's house, and they have a nice house on the water, and I really like their view too. Oh man, I really did wish I have one book that's just filled with beach paintings. Um, I have a lot of coastal stuff, but I have a lot of Florida stuff too. And last time I was here, they're tearing down our pier, so I painted that. And so there's a new pier, so I figured I should paint it. And have you been to the Bok Tower Gardens in Lake Wales?
No.
Oh, it's like in the middle, like yeah, it's kind of near Orlando a little bit, but I go there and I paint
Yeah.
there, and the gardens are beautiful, and there's like swans, you know.
She said the swans.
Thank you. I was waiting for some of it, like, there's swans. Like, where's my girl?
Swans up there.
Yeah, I did.
Thank
I
you.
did get to do a little bit of biking through the Cape Canaveral Nature Preserve,
Oh, nice.
which,
Nice,
if
nice,
you
nice.
get the chance, I think you would absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
It's just marshlands and
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it's within, the NASA, Cape Canaveral like station base, whatever it is.
Mhm.
They do a lot of like rocket launches, but it's miles of just natural preserve.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been there. Oh, man, the last time I was, oh my gosh. I was a kid last time I was down there. That would be nice to go see. I was actually, I've got a lot of stops, but I'm going to see a lot of natural Florida, which I'm pretty stoked about. Especially when I go down south. I love South Florida so much. They're crazy. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and he's not like in Miami or anything like that, but he's close enough. It's like, okay, it's a little crazy. But I've got a lot of friends that are here, so I'm pretty stoked to see them all. Yeah, Florida for me, I can't not make Florida a week-long trip. It's like I have like a sticky note that I keep in my scheduler of like, okay, Florida, this is what you have to do. Like every time you have to. If you don't, you're a jerk. You have to do it. As it's just, 29 years is a long time. I'm gonna go to like, Grandpa and Grandma's grave, some cats' graves,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But
Do you have like a favorite landscape that you like to paint?
ooh, thank you, ma'am. I do love the trees and anything with water. I'm pretty stoked to do. I really do love like upper coastal, so like say anywhere in the northeast coastline. But when I was in New Zealand, it's kind of like that. It's just very rocky, um, old lighthouses. I love that like upper like Massachusetts, Maine area. It's really, really beautiful. And
Thanks,
it's kind of cold.
So thanks, man. It is nice.
Oh yeah. I'm get very jealous of like, oh man, it's so good up there. But the beach too, I mean, it's waves. Waves are really hard for me. So of course I really like it. And just the transparency of the water and trying to get like, you could do a lot of play and mirroring off of like if there's any boats hanging out. And I realized recently actually that I'm like, I like that stuff because my grandma would paint like the rivers and the bogs of Louisiana. And she had all these paintings of like boats and water. And I've just, as a kid, I grew up always by docks and boats. Like I'm very, I was the first man at my grandpa's boat. And I think I just feel very connected with the water and I just like trying to capture it. It's, there's definitely like a patience to it. You have to breathe almost like real steady to really make sure you kind of get those waves the right way. But and plus you get to be outside by the water and it's just nice, like actually I like sitting there and concentrating and doing it. Sometimes the forest will bring you bugs and animals and all kinds of stuff, and at the beach and on the coast, like you probably get some wind, maybe some seagulls, maybe some tourists. That's about it. So it's a little safer and it's also just a little bit more pleasant to paint in. I haven't done any desert scenes yet. And I'm kind of excited for that. I kind of want to go to like the salt flats and do some weird stuff. And I recently just marked a town in my maps that I drove through, and it was like right before Alabama. And I drove through it, and I kid you not, it was like I felt like it was fake. It was like this beautiful little country town with all these like tunnels of trees lining the roads and like just little farmhouses with red barns and stuff. And I'm like, I need to find an Airbnb here and paint here for a month. Like it was just gorgeous. So I kind of do that too. Like if I'm driving around and I see a place, I'll try to make a plan to just like stay there for maybe a day or something and paint just so I can be there and capture it and give it the time it needs. But that's like, I could do more of that when I'm like crazy rich, right? Like, yeah, gambling, sponsor me.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, hey, yeah, art people sponsor me so I can just go around and paint. That'd be cool. So,
Now, do
I
you
mean,
put
that's,
any of your work up in galleries?
you know, I have my own gallery and I haven't put my stuff in a gallery since, oh, maybe like 7 years ago. When I started the studio, my own studio, it really just took every little bit of me. So I haven't really, I'm just now like, because of Gabe and his help, just really, really, really gotten full force into it again. Because I'm, you know, tattooing kind of took over and kidnapped me. I realize, like, I have a lot of different art fields, but tattooing takes a lot of mental energy from me. And yeah, so I haven't done a gallery show in such a long time. I mean, I've submitted for like smaller shows, but I mean, I guess you could call them galleries, but I don't know, nothing to the thing nothing to what I used to do, you know. I used to be pretty fanatic, you know, and used to do every calling a gallery would do, I would do it, you know. So I mean, I'm in a couple books and that was cool, you know, art books and stuff. But yeah, I think tattooing recently has just finally calmed down enough for me where, you know, the big pieces I'm doing helps me be able to focus a little bit more on the painting. So I know where I can take it and just figuring out the time and figuring out all that. That's really what it takes. But so yeah, hopefully soon I can get my shit back together, Jason.
Oh, I was just curious. I mean,
Oh, I know.
I know
Like,
some artists that never submit to any galleries and they've never done a
Oh,
gallery show and they don't even know how to go about getting into them, let alone
mhm.
juried exhibitions. Like,
Oh, well, hey, we can talk about that. Yeah, if people like want to submit into galleries, there's some really good steps to do so. Find, research your galleries and see what kind of artists they take in. If you're a small town artist that's well known, it'll be really nice to start at small boutiques and then go to like galleries and show that you sell paintings and you have a following and people will buy your art. So if like more people own your art and know your name, then bigger galleries will definitely take your work, make a really nice portfolio that you can send off. I'm so old fashioned that I used to use like slides and send those in because they were really good with color, and most gallery owners like used to own like slide projectors. But nowadays it's like all online, you know, there's always like you can like upload everything. But I've had some gallery owners that are like really, really stubborn about that. They're like, no, I would like to see photographs or slides or like just some old school guys. But you know, be as professional as you possibly can, you know, and just be humble and respectful. They don't have to take your work ever. And you can always do a trial period, you know, and negotiate. I like negotiating with everybody.
absolutely.
Absolutely. So if they say like, no, like we really don't have space, or like, can I please have my work up for a month and see what happens? You know,
Just, or, a month, a couple of weeks, just see if anything sells. And if
see if
something
anything
sells, cool.
sells, right? Because then you tell all your friends and all your family to go buy.
Right?
And then, yeah, and then they do. And then you're got it, you know, you're in. So it's always okay to start small. Really, boutiques in downtown St. Petersburg is what made me the artist I think I am today, because they would sell I made I made clothes, I made jewelry, I made paintings, I made like all kinds of stuff, and they would always present my work like coffee shops, boutiques. Like you can start somewhere and then work your way up, and there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes you'll meet some people that are interesting, but you know, you just got to smile, take their advice if they give it to you, no matter how they say it, because sometimes they'll say it real mean.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. But take it for what it is. Don't burn the bridge. Don't be a jerk. Because I mean, when you're successful and doing something better than them, then you can just simply smile and say hello, and then they can then host you in their gallery. And revenge is success always. Sweet, sweet revenge. But you just want to keep a professional manner about yourself, and show that you are like they don't want anyone lofty. So first time artists, you're going to have that issue that people do not want to sell your art because they're like, well, what if you do well and this is just a one-shot thing? You know, like we would rather have someone that can really produce, and like, you know, if it's that kind of gallery and that kind of sales, like they want someone that like they know can be accountable and keep producing, and it's not like a hobby, you know.
And I think that's a very important point to make too. I mean, coming from a gallery perspective, they want
Yes.
continuous income. They don't just want like a one-shot deal.
Right. They want to say, we host this artist and this artist and this
Right.
artist. Like that's what they want to say. That's what they want, to use the artist as their own advertisement. But if it's not like consistent artists, there's no product. Like it's just a one-shot deal, you know. And that's how I think of it, is like they are looking for a product and consistency, because consistency is, you know, what people look for in anything. So that's that start small. Even fundraisers. I really did a lot with like fundraisers. And if you get, and this is how you make waves, is that you pick a spot that no one would ever think would have an art show, and then you run a fundraiser. Holy crap. People are always really like bars, so people can drink, you know, but like a classy like cocktail bar or a sushi bar or something, and have an art show, and then invite everyone, you know, invite your old, you know, like your pediatrician, your dentist, like invite everyone, you know. And then that talks about like, well, then we can talk about advertising and all that. That's a whole different spectrum of becoming an artist, is learning how to promote yourself. And after that show is done, you have sold so many paintings to people that you know are reputable members of the community, and they came out and supported you because they like you, you know. Or even giving free art to, you know, if you have a lawyer, make their office a painting. If you have a doctor, make their office a painting. And then other people will see it.
Lawyers make enough money, they can buy the paintings.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
yes, but I mean, if they're really cool, though, I don't know.
It is always good to get on
make
the lawyers'
friends with lawyers.
good side. Oh, sorry.
Always
You're right.
make friends
I
with
can't be
them.
talking about this.
Yeah, get out of here.
I retract my statement. I suck at lawyer things. Give paintings to lawyers.
Give
Good ones.
paintings to lawyers. Yeah, good ones.
Good ones,
Because
big ones, abstract ones.
Or just say, hey, would you like to house my painting for me? I would like to sell it, but I'm not there yet. Can I please have it in your office with a stack of cards? You know, that's so they get to keep free art in their building and their free advertisement for you. And they don't necessarily own it. It's just there and has your cards with it. You know, that also works really well.
And cycle it out every few months.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, there's like so many ways to promote yourself for free. And it's really about just talking to people and explaining yourself well, and coming into it with a good heart and good intention. And you'd be surprised that people are just like very, very down for hanging free art. Who would think? And I mean, I call it like the guerrilla punk rock way of selling art, but it's really worked for me. And I've gotten a chance to be in some really cool shows and gotten to do some really cool things. So it does, everything you do will make a difference in your career. Just got to have faith in yourself and patience, and just do it because you love it and concentrate on that, you know. I know so many people are like, I want to be an artist, and they just sit on their hands and they don't know what to do. And, you know, we've all been there with apprentices, you know, they have so much hope in the beginning, and then they realize how creative and hard, like how much work it is and how much patience you have just to, you know, like you're not automatically well known. You're not automatically, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of due diligence.
It's
Oh,
like being a starting painter and then saying, this is my style of what I do. And I'm
mhm.
going to submit it to the MoMA and they should hang it up in a
Ugh,
gallery.
right. They
And it's like,
should. They should. I'm
yeah,
like, no.
okay. Good
And
luck
if
with
they
that.
do, hallelujah. Don't take
Right?
advantage. You know, yeah, hallelujah. But if that, more than likely they will not. And I only say this, you know, like what gives me the right to even give like any kind of example, because I mean, I do declare myself a fine artist, but I'm just very much a tattooer, but I'm still a working artist, you know, and I'm realizing more and more and more as people are just like fed up with their jobs. You know, after COVID and everything, everyone's kind of had this second wave, this second coming to God there. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard to be a professional artist that I actually make money and completely support myself off of my art. And that's awesome. Like, and these are the things that I've done that have helped me actually do that. So I don't know. I always say I can give the information and then people can just do what they want with it, you know, but at
Right.
least I'll give it. Yeah. Cause I mean, I love the fact that we have artists in this world, you know, Earth would be really boring without it. So, you know, cause I'm an alien.
I
um,
think you see that culturally as well. You know, I mean, looking at the US and how much we're focused on science, engineering, technology, and math,
mhm.
you know, and
Yes.
how
And
that is our primary focus in all of our schools.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
when you
they've
look at
taken,
that,
oh my gosh, so much art has been taken out of schools.
yeah,
Oh,
art, music programs, you name it,
you
they've
name
all
it.
been cut back in order to support more science, math, and technology.
But we need the variance of art. We need people to be able to think and be decisive. And art makes you decisive. That's what I think. Like art
Absolutely.
makes you think quickly because it's your own project. No one's really looking over your shoulder. No one's like, it's coming from your mind. It's coming from your ability to translate images. So it's working different parts of the brain that we haven't even fully, I don't think studied. Like it's just does so much for emotional like peace. It's because like art therapy, it does so much for there is like still mathematics, there is still design, there is still all these things. So you can, I mean, it's just another tool you can use to help apply all those other sciences and maths, but it's just very, I think that it should not go away because I realize too, I mean, when we talk to our clients, we know that even some of the verbiage that we use is lost completely because they haven't learned it. And so we have terms that people have never even used before in their life. And, you know, that's unfortunate because it's just like elements of design. And I think that's why sometimes people feel so lost. So I've just like always try to simplify things when I talk to my clients and simplify things when I try to teach anything because I know that, you know, not all of us speak the same kind of verbiage, the language. Like, so I don't know. That's, yeah, I'm glad and happy to be able to teach anything of art because I mean, it's kept me out of trouble. It's like saved me many times. So if other people can experience that, then why not? You know,
I think
especially if I would.
it
Hmm?
definitely helps. It definitely helps you learn how to learn, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's the decisive aspect of it. It makes you think critically. And yes,
Or
it's calming. Yes,
I
go ahead.
also see it as being a little bit different because it allows you and it teaches you to think outside of the box. You know,
Yes.
and that's something that you see it all the time with and hold on, I'm sorry if I get cut off. I'm trying to
Take it off. No.
I think his headphones had died.
Oh, okay. What was he gonna say?
Something philosophical that Jason says.
How'd you know? No, but he's
Probably
right.
how you have to like
You know-
rely on yourself as an artist and how it helps
God.
you learn that aspect of it and how you need to, fail a whole bunch before you continue on to the next step of things. And
Yep.
God,
Sorry
Jason.
about that.
She covered you. And what that's prophetic, Jason. That really is.
I know.
Jeez. Woof. That was good. No, I do. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jason?
Sorry about that. So one thing that I was okay. So it allows you to come up with creational like adaptations, right? It allows you to think about problems from a different perspective. And that's not always something that, if you're constantly focused on hard equations and hard science and, this has to be this and this has to be that, there's no room to think about alternate ways to view things or alternate ways to solve a problem. So you run into a lot of situations and a lot of issues when you're trying to come up with creative ways to solve things. But that's where focusing more on art and music and different types of creative outlets can really come in handy.
She was pretty accurate in what you're gonna say.
I've listened to a lot of Jason's spiels over this past year.
Oh, you have heard more of my rants.
That's amazing.
Was that pretty close or what?
That was pretty close.
Yeah, from now on, Kier, you can just say whatever it is that I'm going to say because you've probably already heard it before.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's not wrong.
I miss you guys. That's hilarious.
We miss you, Renee. I remember like it was yesterday being drunk on tequila explaining Oklahoma Thunder for the millionth time and why it's such a prolific color.
It is a prolific color. Yes. No, it is a prolific color, and you need to have that in the world ASAP.
I sent it to Lauren.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. But it needs to be out there. It's a good color. It's like the most beautiful wave I've ever seen. It's like.
Renee, have you used it?
Yeah. Oh, I use wave and everything.
With the sound effects. That's impressive.
Yes. Wave. Oh, yeah. And I can't say white without saying white.
White.
Well, then you gotta say it's like titanium.
Titanium white.
Or you have to add the British accent to aluminium.
Oh yeah. Is it? Oh, yeah. Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Petrol. Aluminium.
It makes me wish I was back at the London Tattoo Convention again.
Oh, it makes me miss just New Zealand. I've never actually been to London.
London is great.
I don't go to like busy places. I found like I really need to. I just need to pull that band-aid off and just do it. I go to like far distant islands and like I just want. Yeah, I'm like, is it bleak? Is it silent? Cool, go.
Renee, you and I should travel together because that's exactly what I live for.
Oh, it's beautiful. I want to go to Iceland so bad. I was supposed to go in 2020. Let's go.
Now that I have my passport and we didn't go to Belgium, I'm kind of just like looking at different flights. I'm just like, well,
because you are, yes, you need to go. Well, you need to go to, yeah.
People do solo trips all the time. Once again, this is me calling my mom. They like everybody goes to Scotland, Mom. What's in Scotland? I don't know. Like, I'll figure it out.
Yo, you
Yes,
let me know
Scotland.
if you want to go to Scotland. I'll get guest spots lined up for us.
Oh yeah. I love Edinburgh. Let's go. I want to
I've got a very good friend of mine, Mikkel Ostberg, who I met at the Puerto
Ooh.
Rico convention a few years back. He's offered multiple times. He's like, dude, all you have to do is show up at my door anytime.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, because my guy moved back to Poland. So yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, he
This
owns his
guy.
own
Look at
little
this guy.
studio there. It's a great little spot in between Edinburgh and I forget the other name of the town. Like their other major city.
No.
Talking about Zurich?
What?
Is that it?
In Scotland?
In Scotland?
Is that Scotland?
No.
No, Zurich is in Switzerland.
Switzerland. That's the other S.
I thought the other S was Sweden.
Sweden. I went to I'm trying to remember because we did a whole drive around Scotland. So we went everywhere. And so, yeah, I'm just going to say, yeah. Yes.
Well, I was looking because I've always wanted to see Hans Zimmer live, and he never comes to the US, and he's going to Edinburgh in like April. And I was like, well, I can just go for one day because
Oh yeah, dude, do it. Because I was supposed to see David Bowie in Scotland, and then But if you want to do something, just do it. That's what that story was for. Yes.
Seriously, I can't tell you how many times I've traveled solo, and it's absolutely freeing.
It's great.
Don't
Yeah,
talk
it's
me into
so
it, guys.
fun. Tell your mom you'll be fine. You're tough as nails. You're from the US. You're fine.
I would say just be careful though, because remember, as far as I'm aware, the Belgian Tattoo Convention is going on next year.
Oh.
So, and I mean, because we didn't go this year, those tickets can roll over.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've already kind of paid for a flight there, you maybe want to take advantage of that.
Jason, you're always coming in with the smarter ideas. How did you get so smart?
It's not being smart, it's being logical.
That's adulting. It's just adulting.
Yeah, that's adulting.
That's adulting,
it's finding,
Jason.
if you've already paid for this,
yeah, just do it.
Why would you spend money on that?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
You're welcome.
I mean, do what you want. You'll have a blast either way, but
you'll have so much fun. You'll have so much fun no matter what. Just you should do a solo trip. It would be really fun. It's good for you.
Everyone should do solo trips.
Yeah, it's good for your bones.
Good for me bones.
Good for your bones. You can figure out so much about yourself. You are free to do anything. You have no one going, I'm tired. So you just want to keep going. You get scared sometimes and you figure out what you do. It's hilarious. And you meet interesting people. You get to use all of your guttural senses and you have nice adventures and you get to think quietly and stare out windows and ponder. I imagine you doing that a lot.
That's my favorite part of traveling by myself.
That is, yeah, staring out windows and pondering. Oh, it's the best. Or like coffee shops and painting. Oh, no one talks to you because you're there by yourself, and that's kind of weird. And it's so good.
I'm ready.
I always like going on random meandering walks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I always find gardens or something.
Yes.
Yes. I love eating by myself. That's so nice. Where you're like, oh no, just one, and it's me.
No. Table for one.
Table for one, please. Or I sit at like the sushi bar itself. I am a fanatic for sushi when I'm not in the Midwest. And there's nothing like getting kind of like sake drunk, eating sushi by yourself in like a big city or something like that. It's good. It's good stuff.
I also like seeing all the street performers.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the subway. The subway by yourself is fun.
Yeah, I know that in England, there's a lot of them that hang out right outside the National Portrait Gallery. In Rome, there's a ton of them that hang out, and they do like live shows every night, right over by the Trevi Fountain, which is absolutely stunning at night. By the way, I highly recommend if you get the chance, go and see that.
Oh, I still have that whole trip that I need to do in my life. I've had multiple chances to go, but it was always a very weird scenario, and I'm very particular how I see things, for memory's sake. And it was just not the right people that I wanted to go with. Like Europe, and I have a whole thing planned that I'm just gonna do it right. May not even tattoo. I think I'm just gonna paint.
That was my favorite part of going to Rome. I didn't tattoo at all. I just walked around and I did some sketching and, just little pencil drawings, sitting down, sitting at, looking at different statues or walking into different cathedrals and just admiring all the stained glass and the frescoes.
I do love me some stained glass. Yeah, I love, in Scotland, actually, in Edinburgh, there's the cathedrals there are beautiful, but there's also all these really beautiful rose gardens. And my friend just wanted to sit because we've been walking all day, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't care because I'm gonna draw." I just had my Ticonderoga and my sketchbook, and I just drew Scottish roses for 2 hours, and I had a sketchbook full of really cool flowers by the time we were done. Yeah, and I've tattooed, I think, pretty much all of them because they're so pretty and just perfect. Some hardy roses out there, but just something like that is very peaceful, and you get to I don't know, take in the air around you and take in the people and get to hear the wildlife of, even if you're in a city, you'll experience a lot of things if you just sit and draw. And that's, I talked about that in the plein air class. Just taking a moment and really diving into the community and the environment that you're in. And that's the whole that's the part of the experience, is just letting yourself live a little. And I don't know, it's the appreciation of your area. So I feel if we're go, seeing all the sites, that man has destined us to see, obvious tourist spots, oh, we got to see this, we got to see this. I kind of hate that. I like going, what's that over there? And, sitting and, with painting it. And, I don't know, I found so many awesome, weird memorials and awesome, graves and awesome little awesome little restaurants and awesome little things by just being a little bit more curious than the brochure. And I don't know, that's, to me, I don't go for things that are highly sought out. I go for weird little special places. And you can do that when you're drawing, because then you you look at things a little differently. We should all go to Rome. Let's do it. Hey, Gabe, can we all go to Rome?
Listen, I've been there twice. I am always down to go back to Rome.
Yeah, actually, the convention there on Facebook. There's a convention in Rome that tags me all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm down with Rome. I love Rome. Actually, you know what? I was thinking of a story. I'll try to tell it as quickly as I possibly can, because it has nothing to do with tattoos, except for I was with Nick Baxter and Gogwe and Tapase, a couple of people. Doing a little just before the first worldwide tattoo conference, we were doing a caravan tour, and I was rather gaseous. I just could not really stop farting for a long period of time. And then we ducked into this awesome church. And about 10 minutes into the church, I was like, oh my God, it's so quiet here, but there's a lot of people. I'm going to be able to fart, and it's going to echo I want to fart in church. And for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I swear, as much as I didn't want to crap myself trying to fart, but I was trying to fart, and it didn't work. And it wasn't because I was scared of the church. I really have it out for the church. I didn't like them even before all that stuff where the priests doing that shit came out. And I couldn't. It was so crazy. Anyways, that was my walking around with Baxter and a bunch of tattooers in a church story. Yes, Rome. We should do that again.
Oh yes. You can tell that we're all children because we're still all laughing at that story, parts. Um,
The
yeah,
lack of a fart.
or the lack of a fart. And just your panic. I was trying. Oh, that's
So
terrible.
I actually went to the Rome Tattoo Convention a few years back, and got a chance to meet Phibbs while I was there. He was doing walk-ups all day, and I was like, "Wait, what? Yeah, I want to get tattooed by you. Are you kidding?"
That's cool. You mean that's the right convention that you went to?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I got to meet him because I've been following his work for a long time, and never really thought I might actually get to meet him. And there he is,
That's cool.
down to do some stuff that I really wanted to get done, and ended up getting tattooed by him. And it was absolutely awesome. And we keep in touch to this day. He's one of the major people that works at the Puerto Rico Tattoo Convention every year. So I head down there every chance they throw that, and get to visit with him a little bit and see how he's doing.
That's
But it's a
awesome.
great time. You meet so many amazing people on the road.
That's how I met Erin Chance for the first time. She was at the Toronto show, and I
Oh,
was
she's
just
amazing.
there. Oh, she's so cool. And it's like when she was doing all those rats, and I bought all of her prints, and I just like, I just fell in love instantly with her work. And I had gone to that show because I don't know, I was just kind of talked into it. And that was like one of my first like international shows. So it was like, of course, like the most English speaking place I could possibly go to because I was so nervous. But it was great. It was just so cool to see like just a whole different brand of artists. And yeah, like she was coming from New Zealand so at the time. So and eventually she came to the States, but it was very, very cool because I had only seen up to that point, basically like a lot of Florida and a lot of the East Coast artists. And that was just a completely different world, So it's really nice to travel to those shows. And I'm glad that we can still, have them if we can, because it's such good like environment for just rediscovery and inspiration. And then, yeah, you get to like make friends with them sometimes, it's a little bit more intimate. Yeah, I love that stuff. But yeah, let's go to Rome. I'm down. It'd be great to go. It would be
Dream of
great
a
to go
good
to.
time. I will be in touch. I will send you a message, and we will get this set up real quick.
Okay.
It's like I'll have paperwork in by tomorrow.
I mean, give me dates and times. We can set it up right now, and I will book the tickets.
Okay.
Everybody send me the license.
The end of next year. Let's do it. Because, well, maybe maybe
December of 2022 or 2023.
What's the weather like? Yeah.
You definitely want to travel in the fall or the early spring.
Okay, then 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having been there in August or September, it's just too hot.
Oh, okay, then nah. Let's do fall.
Yeah, it feels like Florida when you're there in the summer months.
Ooh, if anyone wants to go to New Zealand, I'm an excellent guide, and I've got people there.
Really?
I'm down.
Okay. I've got people in like near Hamilton and Raglan, like so the Maori areas, because they're Maori. And then I have friends down, I think, near Queenstown. I think they're still there, like close to Dunedin. I love Dunedin. So I will, forcefully order everyone to go to Dunedin with me because it's awesome. It is my favorite place in the world. If I was rich, I would retire there right now. But yeah, the rest I think I have pretty good adventuring of the North and the South Island. So I know there's like a couple things I haven't done. I would love to go see the glaciers and stuff. Someone died last time I was there, so there was, no Fox glaciers for me. But there's so much to do, and I have maps of like, that I like circled all the glowworm caves and really beautiful spots where you can see like the Milky Way reflected on this like inch of water at night, so it's like a mirror effect of the Milky. It's just, yeah, it's a bit much of how cool it is. And I want to go back.
Travel.
Really
Do
bad.
you do studio visits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's Andy in Christchurch. His left hand path tattoo, I believe. Wait, is that the one important? No, am I right? I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm pretty sure that's Andy's shop. And then there's my friend Juju. She's on an island that's like off of Christchurch. And my friend had a shop in Hamilton, but it kind of got screwy with the mob because they took over. They were in Auckland and they moved down to Hamilton. So he shut it down. I was like, he had no choice. But down in Christchurch, yeah, that doesn't really happen that much there. So, and it's a good place, a little bit more commercial, a little bit more touristy. Even after the earthquake, it's like it's pretty cool. You know, it's a little bit more city-like. So it's a pretty cool spot to tattoo. And Andy is amazing. I'm trying to think of his last name. Andy Schwarstick? Something? We'll look him up.
Yeah, actually, that's it.
Is that it? Okay.
So it's something like that. That is a version of it.
Yeah, you pronounce it. Schwarstick. He's really, really nice. Him and his wife Laura are really, really sweet people. And I guest spotted there, but I didn't have like a whole lot of clients because obviously, you know, it is kind of like a more, I mean, a little bit more appointment only studio, but they were super, super nice. And I like got to tattoo some and really just explore Christchurch. And
let's see, this guy, Andrew Swarbrick.
I can't see on my phone because my thing. Is it
Andrew
really cool?
Swarbrick, SWARB.
Yes. He's a redhead.
Christchurch. Yes. Left hand path. Yes. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, nice. I can't believe I remembered all that information. Oh, yes. Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
He's
a sweet guy.
Facebooked me about getting on the mailing list because he was also interested in getting off of the social medias. And as I went to go write him back, I almost went to say something like, wow, you're a really awesome artist. I'm surprised we haven't met before. And then I looked up in our messages and we had like full conversations about doing events in New Zealand and shit. I'm like, oh, I remember that. That's why we're friends.
Oh my God. But, well, there you go. Get a hold of him. He's a sweetheart.
Cool, the New Zealand Tattoo podcast is pretty awesome. I keep reading this as New England Tattoo, but it's New Zealand Tattoo.
New Zealand Tattoo podcast. But, he's a
great series.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, he's
one
rad.
person I definitely have to link up with if I ever make it over there is Dean Sacred.
Oh yes, or who am I thinking? Oh God, he's in Auckland and he does all the crazy full color realism.
Steve Butcher.
I know who you're talking about, but no. Dean K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I want to see that guy. And Erin did move back, so she's there. I would still love to get tattooed by her.
Yeah,
there's
Erin Chance. Let me fire her up.
Yeah, there's so many amazing artists in New Zealand, like amazing. Oh yeah, and then where else? There's another.
This is Erin's work here.
Yeah, Erin is great. She's just that wonderful little illustrative. Like it's a little dark, it's a little playful. It's fun, super fun.
It's a little baby.
Oh yes, and she had a cute baby.
It's 2018 here. That's in there. That's healed. That's cool.
Yeah, her work is cool.
That's so good.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, so let's go. Let's make a trip to New Zealand. We all get tattooed.
I'm in.
I'm down. That's what I did when I was in Scotland. I got my hand done. Look at this. Boom. Daniel Besquazi. Boom, 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 boom. But I mean, I don't know, tourists do it, but I do mine a little different. Like I set it up in advance. I years. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But it's great. I love it. It's like, well, I'm on vacation kind of because I just got my hand tattooed. So I'm like, I can't tattoo, so I might as well enjoy myself while I'm here. And I swear I walked around Scotland waving to everyone because my hand was so puffy. So I was like, hello, hello, hello. It was perfect. Like, but that's what I'm going to do after this trip. Hopefully, like, this is going to be all done. And so I'm just going to quarantine and take a little rest and let my hands like not be so swollen. And then I can go back to work. So I'm stoked.
Looks like we have some definite potential travel plans for the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, think of all the plein air. Mm.
You mean
Yes.
Dutch paintings that I'm doing?
Yes. Bring your opaque white because she's going to rip out some Dutch master.
I just wrote it, and then you just walked by, and you're like, okay.
Well, it was more hilarious that people knew what I was talking about, I think. Because I was like, I don't know if that was like a far-fetched thing that I said, but then people were like, oh my gosh, you're right. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. You're a masterful Dutch artist and you didn't even know it. So that's what you have to do. That's what I'm going to promote you to do now forever. Like,
all whitewash.
yes. And I'm going to give you like studies of like, all right, here's a cabin and a single rocking chair. And there's a couple books on it. There, go paint. Here's some weird shaped heads of children. Okay, playing outside in a very 2D format. Go paint. I'm sorry for all those Dutch artists. I really do like your work, but I mean, it's identifiable.
It's all art is.
All art is. Yes, yes. No, but it's very recognizable, and I'm proud that you didn't even you did it. You didn't realize you were doing it.
I was like, I've never really done watercolor before, but. And then I immediately went to Jason afterwards, and I was like, she called me a Dutch painter.
Did. I was like, that's one hell of a compliment because I love Dutch painters.
Exactly.
I was like, well, show me how you did that there. Let me take a look. How'd you do that?
Yeah, like it's not easy. You did it. It's like it's a recognizable style, and you just did it naturally. Like, cool.
Lots of whitewash.
Lots and lots of whitewash.
Like the whole thing.
Just when you think you've used enough of it, you use a little bit more.
Use more, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it was really funny when Renee was like doing her class and stuff, and I was painting away, and she's like, by the way, guys, that white there, that's some gouache. Try not to use that. And mine was like half gone.
I think I saw like a stillness in your area too. It was just like, oh, like you just paused for like, oh shit, all right, oops. And I was like, it's there just in case.
Just in case.
It was my present to you since I'm just throwing watercolor at you.
I was like,
God. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't necessarily teaching a full-blown watercolor class. And that's what I was like, well, whatever. I was teaching about the essence of plein air. And, and you picked it up. You got it. So
well, at least I learned how to avoid pumas. So
yes. Oh God. Did you guys listen to the fireside? He took like all that out. Well, not all of it, but there was so much more conversations about pumas. And I was just so nervous. I was like, pumas. I mean, like, forest cat.
They'll come get you.
They'll come get you. They will get you. Well, if you guys looked in the back of like your little pamphlets that I made with all like the Hobbit quotes on it, I like at the back I said like, watch out for teeth, claws, and Taurus. And I'm like,
funny.
Taurus, sometimes they'll throw money at you if you're painting plein air outside. They think you're like an attraction. especially if you're like at a state park or something and you just like pull out your whole gear and just start painting, they'll think like you're there to make tips if you let them watch you. So, but sometimes they're just ruly. But lots of things to consider when you're outside.
Your painting looks great.
The what?
Your painting, it looks great.
Oh, thank you. Your guys' paintings look great too. I can't see yours very well. Oh wait, it's just you. It's just
Yeah,
you.
it's just me.
You look great.
Hey, thanks.
Love that background in combination with the high contrast detail in the blue jay.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna do a little bit more detailing too, but I'm letting it dry. Those are some big
Big wash
big
in.
blobs. Yeah, big blobs of water and just kind of blending in. So I let that dry while I'm like fixating on the details because I kind of started over here, so over here, so over here. So I kind of take breaks and let things dry as I keep working around.
Now, do you tend to use any kind of masking fluid?
No, I have though, but no, I don't need to. No, I tell myself to be really patient. I myself am not a patient person. It is taking years of practice, and that's kind of what I can contribute the painting to that. Because if I did, I would just use it all the time. I'd be addicted to it. It'd be a whole thing. I will for if I'm doing like space paintings or if I'm doing like jewelry or like lace or anything like that, where like I know that I'm not that patient. Then yes, I will. But no, I just kind of go for it. And I get that too from the plein air. Like I don't want to carry that extra supply.
I always keep that in my bag now, just in case. There's a plein air moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just like, wait guys, I know we're on this walk, but we got it. Like, give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, give me 10 minutes. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm such like an old fart. I'm like, can't we just take a seat for a second and like I can just do this thing? Like my parents are pretty patient people because I was that kid of like, but I just want to sit and like look at this real quick. And I have like a lot of energy always, but I just like sitting and pondering, staring at windows. And I'm sad that winter is coming. Like I have a lot of bird feeders at my house. So like every window has like birds being my peeping toms. But during the winter time, it's now for the ravens and the robins and all my beautiful blue jays and stuff are not going to be that around until it starts warming up a little bit. Or I don't see them as much. It's I'm like, oh. The ravens here we have are huge. Like oh my God, they're big.
They like super huge.
Yeah, like I got, like they surprised me when I realized how big they were. And I kind of like slowly backed away because I think I was getting up close to take a picture, like a reference photo. And then I realized I'm like, oh, you're kind of the size of a small dog and you kind of scare me. Like they're like meaty, they're big.
I saw a bald eagle for the first time.
Oh, how was that?
I almost crashed my car because I was driving and I saw it and it was like up in the sky and I was driving. I saw it and I saw like the white head and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh God, look at that thing. Of course I pulled over and I look at it like, wow. Of course I saw one just like, dude, can we like go to work? But it's
an eagle, man. I saw one kayaking once and I had the same, like, holy shit,
they're huge. They're huge birds. They're large birds. And even when they get up there in height in the sky, they still look ginormous.
They're ginormous. Yeah, good, accurate use of word there. Ginormous. If you see them up close though, ever like just sitting, if they're like standing, right? I was in Newfoundland, Canada, and laughing my ass off at these bald eagles because they make the same dumb face as the bald eagle in the Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like these majestic beasts are like looking at me just like that. And I like I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Like they just have
all
the
birds
funniest.
look different when they look forward. Like we had a client come in, and it wasn't for me, it was for one of my coworkers, but I had overheard the consultation process. And he was like, yeah, man, I want like a bald eagle, but I don't want to look into the side like everything else. Like I want to look forward, like directly.
Oh
like
no.
And I'm like, I don't mean to cut in or anything like that, but like, have you ever seen a bird looking forward? Like, they look weird.
They look kind of stupid.
It is not America at all when they're face forward.
No. Or maybe it is, you know? Oh.
Their eyes are just so big on the sides of their heads, and they're just their beaks are like, no. The reason why they're 3-quarter angle or side view is for a reason.
Yes, and their plumage looks like they have double chins.
Yes.
And yes, and their eyes are so weird that it looks like they're cross-eyed. And I mean, they're very majestic creatures, very majestic. But yes, that's why we're the professionals and we pose things the way that we need to.
The bird I had always was cross-eyed all the time. I could never get good pictures.
Oh, well, that's just them. They're just special, you know. They're special.
Oh yeah, no, he was definitely something special. All right.
And they are big suckers. Holy moly!
Yeah.
There's like, yeah, I have an owl outside my backyard. It's one of my cats are only indoor cats, but this owl has got to be 3 feet tall. Like he was like perfectly blended into the tree line, and I was like laying on my bed and just like looking at this tree, and I was like, something is weird about this tree. I don't know what it is, and it's like the same tree I see it every day. But I'm like, what's different? And then all of a sudden I see this wing move. And I'm like, oh crap!
You know what kind of owl it is?
I have no, I looked it up, but now I forget.
The barn owl?
Horned owl. Maybe it's no, barn owls are tiny. It wasn't a horned owl. It wasn't. It was definitely in Oklahoma because I got one of the feathers, and so I looked it up from that, and now I cannot remember what it is. I tattooed today, so my brain is a little fried.
Tattoo brain.
Tattoo brain, and also I've been around like 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds screaming from the holidays, so I'm coming down from that too.
Did you know that like barned owls have silent flight?
Oh yes. I mean, no, I did not. Tell me more.
Well, I was looking on YouTube and they had this diagram where this guy made different birds fly over these feathers and stuff, and pigeons are fat, so they make loud ones.
Yeah, they go,
and they had the owl go down, and it made like no ruffles on the feathers whatsoever. And then when they recorded his flight, silent.
Yep. That's how they get those little creatures.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pigeons are just eating trash and popcorn,
Of the sky.
Of the sky, yes. Well, I mean, gosh, pigeons are actually one of my favorite birds. But
they're so funny.
So Oklahoma has the Pigeon Museum, like the American Pigeon Museum is in Oklahoma City. And I have to say it's one of the coolest places I've ever been because they have like fancy pigeons there that you can like hold and interact with. What? And it has this whole room that's dedicated to the pigeons of war because of all the carrier pigeons that like risk their American lives for us. And it is amazing. It's like, you're just like, what? But yeah, so if you ever come, I will take you to the Pigeon Museum and you're gonna die. Like it is one of the coolest places ever.
Dude, I'm telling you, when we're done with this here, I'm gonna message you and be like, give me your dates.
Like, all right, here you go, sister. Let's do this. We also have I know you guys you know about Bones Unlimited. Like, so we have the osteology museum here, and there's only 2 places like this, I think, in America, and it's here in Philly at the Muter Museum. But we have like one of the world's largest collections of large vertebrates, like large animals. And then the gift store is Bones Unlimited, which you can go online, and that's where everyone buys their bones from. And they're made right here in Oklahoma City. Woo!
Wow.
Because they have all the beetles, the flesh-eating beetles. So that's how they make these perfect little bones. But I'll take you there too. That place is awesome.
May I ask for help with my painting from everybody?
Uh-huh.
So I think this is gonna drive me goddamn insane.
Oh, I can't see because my phone is being, let's see, me do this. Then
So I had started this painting about a year ago, and I've been talking about this painting for quite a little bit. So don't mind the quick rundown. So I painted this painting a year ago, okay? I didn't do the thing when you get a new product and you're like, I'll do a tester thing. I didn't do that, okay? I did the tot thing of just blasting it on a painting that I've already spent a lot of time on and was ready to sell. So now that I did that, I messed it up a whole bunch, and now I'm trying to go in there and fix it, and need your assistance from everybody.
Okay, what medium is it?
This is acrylic.
Oh, okay.
I'm working with just acrylics. But I had blasted over this black 3.0 over the background of the painting. But now that I did that, it made everything just fall forward that wasn't supposed to.
Oh,
and at the same
wondered.
time, this black 3.0 dried like a chalkboard. Like it's a literal
Yes.
chalkboard in the
Yeah, it's
background.
matte. Yeah, it's matte.
Like super matte.
Mm-hmm.
And this painting had already had a coat or 2 of matte medium on top of it, which had like a satiny finish to it. So now I'm working with 2 different textures at the same time, or 2 different finishes.
Oh, I mean, if you can't utilize those textures, I'd say like sand it down and gesso it again. But if you can utilize the textures, then that's cool. I mean, I don't think archivally it's bad.
If you want my opinion,
Go ahead, Jason.
varnish it.
Oh yeah, you can varnish it.
Do
Yeah, but if I varnish it,
one
that's
good
it. I can't
thick
touch it.
clear coat of varnish to even out the textures and the glossy shine to everything, right? Because the one texture is completely matte, the other one's very satin, so it's semi-reflective. If you varnish it with like a clear matte varnish, like this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the Gamblin Gamvar matte picture varnish,
Oh yeah.
varnish the whole thing. What that's going to do is create an even texture over the whole thing, so it'll even out that difference in tone.
But once I put that varnish on, then that's it. I can't go back into it.
Well, are you trying to go back into it?
I mean, I kind of
Or is
have
it
to,
done?
because this black is like now making like a huge difference. But I don't know if it's the black or if it's the texture, like a different finish.
It's the texture. It's the texture.
Probably the texture.
Yeah, the root of that paint, like what that paint is, like the base of it is different than all your other bases. So you're gonna have that difference no matter what. Like it'll shine different because it's a different texture. I mean, yeah, it's a different texture, so it'll just be different. You could take maybe like a clear gesso and put it on top.
That could work. That could even things out very well.
Yeah, and then you can just work on top of it. So you won't be able to, I mean, yeah, you'll just have to work on top of it from there on. You won't be able to necessarily go back into it necessarily, but you'll be able to paint on top and it'll have all the same texture if that's what you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve? What's your long-term goals here?
I just want this painting done now. Okay, at first, this was just a fun experiment.
Oh yeah,
But
show it to me again. Go show it again. Show it again. Let me see. And then scroll down because my camera's in a weird place. Like scroll down so I can see. Oh yes, yeah. Put a clear gesso
I think it
over
works
it.
well the way it is.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like that texture actually.
I like the way that it brings everything forward
Mm-hmm.
and
can-
really
so if we're
pushes that
looking-
black back.
If we're looking at it straight on, though, we can see how uneven it is. So I don't know if I want to go back in with like and just do another layer of it.
Oh,
Because we
yes.
see,
Yes. Maybe.
but then we
yes.
can see here, like this is all like the different texture of the matte medium that was on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, once you like put a coat of anything on top of that to seal it,
That's going to
It'll
even
get-
everything out.
yeah, it'll even it out anyway. So if you just imagine that in the end, once you seal it, it will make everything pretty much like the same texture, and it will look different. But I kind of like that texture a little bit. But it will like take away that matteness unless you go with a complete matte everything. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I'm like, I'm like, how to word that? Words are fun. But yeah, I think the texture looks cool. I think I like it. Makes it grainy and that feeling of Pan's Labyrinth. So
Hey, you know what it is? That's good.
oh yeah. Very identifiable. Congratulations.
I'm done with it. I tried to put a glow in the dark powder paint on too, but yeah, I can't finish that here. That's gonna I'm done with that.
Oh my god, I'm gonna check all your paintings now with a black light.
Yeah, they're really cool, honestly. I have it on there. I'll show it again. I have it and it's hard to see, but like around the wing here, I have it. And then on the wings, I have it. And then like on his face, I have it here. And if I were to go in the bathroom right now, like his face would glow and it would work, but it still leaves like a weird texture still. And I don't think I have the consistency down to paint.
You know, it'd be pretty if you mix that glow in the dark powder with like a transparent shimmer powder, like an additive, even like if it was like a pearlescent, you wouldn't see necessarily the texture. You would see like a pretty different, like you wouldn't see it like as like a, you know, an unintended texture, I guess. Like it would look like something just slightly transparent, but then it would have that special feature of like glow in the dark. I've done that with some of my octopuses around the rims of all the tentacles. I put like a translucent, like pearlescent, sometimes gold, like cream, and it makes it just look real subtle and real weird. People are like, why is your tentacle reaching out at me? I'm like, because it's metallic. And they're like, oh, it's shiny.
That's how I
like shiny things.
Yep.
Bud.
Yeah, yes, we do.
You can ask here. I try to add in like metallic gold to just about everything I paint.
Yeah, it's the best.
And
I love
Tito,
it.
thanks to me.
Just heal with it. Sorry. No, I think it just adding like subtleties like that really helps. Especially if you did he's got a lot of really cool like designs all over him. That would be really cool. You know, like all his little swirls and all his little tree textures and stuff that he has on his skin. That would be awesome if you did that with that. Like you could even create like a little drop shadow from the drop shadows from those textures. I mean, I know you want to finish the painting, and I'm like, ooh, you can do this and this.
Paintings are never finished. I'm just ready to abandon it.
No, never abandon.
Definitely. I have to figure out the consistency with it because so I bought these products and then they came with videos on how to properly use them. And the artist that made these actually recommended that you dry brush the powder on.
I used a roller and it worked. Oh, for the glow in the dark. I think that's black. Sorry.
No. Yeah, with the black, that's like another animal. That black is insane.
That black is insane. I know. I have a bunch of goat skulls I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm sanding down. I'm gonna paint them all with that matte black.
Oh, it's definitely. Let me say, I posted it on the gram. I
Ooh.
painted like a statue of like one of those like wooden statues with that matte black. This thing is insane. I'll have to bring it up. But anyway, shout out to the Black 3.0. Everybody needs to get it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for making that. Thanks for making a black is black with a black is black. Thanks, dog. I have this giant painting of a tiger in the studio. It's like a 8 by, I don't know, 8 by 4.5, 8 by 5, 9 by 5. Maybe it's a 9 by 5. Maybe it's a 10 by 5. I don't know. It's really tall. And I use that matte black in like my most blackest parts, like say the snoot. And I'll have to show you so you can get a good idea for it. But it really, really added that little extra difference of texture because it is so matte, and I used acrylic for everything else. And it's so black that, I mean, if you want something to stand out in the foreground, there you go. Like, oh my gosh, like I put it in between some of the teeth, you know, just like little specks of it. You know, I didn't use as much as you did. I just used like itty bitty bits.
Yeah,
and
it's like
oh yeah. And it just like makes such a difference. It's wild. I love that black.
Oh, you see this little guy here. This is 2 coats of the Black 3.0.
Ooh, it's like it's not even there. That's black.
Yeah, this thing is nuts.
It's black because it's matte, because it doesn't like shimmer or reflect light as easy. Like that's what it's doing, is absorbing light. Ooh, it's so black. If you're looking for the blackest black of blackest black, that's pretty black.
Yeah, he's got like the whitest white now too, which like that's intense.
I haven't tried that yet. I want to though. It makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, of course he would.
One of my good friends was like, what if you just painted like an entire room that color? I was like, I'd be worried that my house would catch on fire.
Is it flammable? No.
There's this one video where this dude painted a styrofoam styrofoam head or whatever, and he held like his flashlight like right next to it, and it started smoking and stuff. I was like, oh no.
Oh, styrofoam. Oh, I thought you meant the paint. No, styrofoam is super flammable. Yeah, you can make like little napalm bombs with styrofoam. It's like it's pretty powerful.
Yeah,
it would be pretty cool though to paint an entire room just like flat black, but you couldn't touch the walls ever.
I feel like that'd freak my eyes out.
Oh, it would probably. Well, so I used it in our photo area. So I have like all these, I spent too much time in our photo area, and I'm literally about to take out that wall. But I made like squares. Okay, I'm trying to explain, like, so I made squares, right? Like first I used like a glossy black, and then I painted like just like a square, and then I painted like a gray, and then I painted another black, and then so the very square that we actually use for our photos is that extreme black, because it makes editing a lot easier for me. You know, I don't have to like fucking mask out the entire thing. It's pretty much just black around the tattoo. There's a person, done, you know. But you can see the differences in blacks that way, and it's so funny. Like, I just did it for decoration. I just did it, you know, to be pretty. But it's wild, like seeing like, yeah, how black that black is. But there's like, you can't touch it. If there's any oils or anything like that on your hands, that leaves like little marks. So, you know, that's one thing. Just don't touch it.
Just don't get your hands off of it.
Yeah, get your hands off of it. So I do have to like refresh it every now and again. Someone will touch it. And I'm just like, all right, fine.
It definitely made me feel like a little kid when I bought it. I was like, ooh, science experiments.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I totally did. I was like, this is science. This is awesome. I think I was like rolling it on. I'm like, look, guys, science.
Like you show something, you bring somebody just like a black whatever, and you're like, hey man, that's the blackest it gets.
Well, that's why I did it too. It's like a black square at the very end of a hallway that we have. And I was like, just keep going into the black. And so it looks like, because of the squares, it looks like it's pushing it further in. Like, so it's a little bit of an optical illusion that I tried to get to, and I think it works like a little bit. You'll see it. You'll see.
I'll see it. I'm on my way. It's fine.
Yeah, you're on your way. You got to bring that Oklahoma Thunder.
Yeah, that's the best color ever.
It's going to be big. It's going to be hip.
Yeah, that color is right next to teal.
Right next to teal.
Best color ever.
Oh, my color, my Joshy Poo's leaving for the night. All right, I got the shop to myself. Woo!
Party!
Friday, sorry, Billy. Woo! I've got a key. Woo! That's trust. That's how, yeah, that's love and trust. When you're a guest artist and you got the key. Like, that's not much different from my shop.
Right. When I first got a key to the shop that I have now, I was like, are you sure?
Oh, yeah, everyone that works at my shop has a key, and they were all really surprised. I was like, yeah, you rent booths from me. Like, yeah, here's a key. Don't mess it up. Make sure you lock the door and set the alarm. That's it. That's all you got to really do. And no one's fucked that up yet. Yay.
At least you don't gotta worry about leaving the autoclave on.
Oh my gosh. No. Oh my God. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yep. Oh, I would have nightmares and like get up at 3 a.m. and be like, did I shut it off?
I remember I lived like 45 minutes away from the shop, and it was a really long night. And this is before the shop that I work at now. It was which is wicked long night. I was tattooed until probably like midnight or something, just on a friend, just for, you know, practice or whatever. And I get all the way to the Rotary that's like 2 streets over from my house, and it hits me in my head like a ping pong, just bounced off my noggin. It was just like, hey man, you left it on. I was like, fuck.
Oh fuck. And as you're pulling up to the shop, it explodes. And yeah, like the vision I have of an autoclave exploding is always so brutal. Like somehow, like it also causes fire and like just explodes, like ignites, you know, that's like my vision of like what happens, you know, and I'm like, no, it just makes a mess.
Everybody's machines just like engulfed.
Yeah. Everyone's portfolio is covered in green concentrate, you know, like the worst of the worst will happen. See, everyone's painting is looking very nice. Jason, you said you have like 1,000 questions. What else?
Jason always has 1,000 questions.
What you got, homie? What you got?
All right, so next question up in my list that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
What is the preferred brand of watercolor that you use? And do you prefer tube watercolors or pan watercolors?
Oh, tube. Yeah, tube, Winston and Newton. That's it. I'm done. What? Oh, yeah. You know, I'm pretty versatile. Like I can use whatever, but if I have mine, I'm like a sucker for consistency. But every now and again I'll get like a free tube or something and I'll use it a couple times. I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know, I get used to, it's kind of like tattoo pigment where I get used to consistencies. So when I don't like discovering too much when I get a watercolor. I like to know what it's gonna do really quickly, especially because I'm like, you know, I'm a creature of habit and I'm outside, I'm getting wet, I'm, you know, being attacked by pumas. I want to make sure that I know thy pigment. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm pretty consistent, but I just, if you get it part of a kit at like a grocery store, it's probably going to be filled with all kinds of additives. And that's what you want. If you buy a watercolor and you're messing around, because I'm not going to dog even smaller companies that come out with things. Just to find a high quality watercolor is a couple of things to look for when you're using it. If you squirt it out and it looks really oily, that's not good. You can even try really mixing it up beforehand, but that means that it didn't settle quite right. And so there might be a lot of additives in that. So it's not, it's not joining and it's not staying binded while it's being stored. So that can show like a lot of quality. Yeah, so you should, when you squirt it out, it should just be really free flowing. If it's really runny, same thing. It just might be a lot of additives. Like you have to think about mixtures as well, of like how much raw pigment is in those dilutants, because like you eventually want this watercolor to dry and to, same thing. Like, well, why don't I just use already like dried palette pigments? Because the same thing, like I think that there's something different with taking it from the tube and letting your own dry, and you can refresh it whenever you need. Where your pad is like, I destroy my brushes really easily that way. Where I can like kind of create like a mound, so I can just kind of swipe around and like dig around in like a flat pad, because your brush is not meant, like for me, watercolor brushes are just like, you can really mess up the sides of them that way. And then that's how you create like a lot of fray in your brushes. So I like creating like a little bubble that I can actually like wipe around in different ways. So I'm not like exhausting my brushes also when I'm kind of like distributing my pigment around. And when it's like in that flat pad, I really like, I just can't get it whipped up like I want to. I can't get like the amount that I want to quickly. I have to really work it. And sometimes they're like chalk to me. Sometimes they're just very like, they're filled with fillers. And I just like as much pigment as I possibly can, so I don't have to like layer and layer and layer. Like I just like, yeah, I like having something really rich and highly pigmented. So I kind of stick with those.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Two more.
Okay.
Two more.
Okay.
And I promise I'll be done being obnoxious for the evening.
You're not obnoxious. Thank you. I forget, like, what am I going to talk about?
Well, so the next two questions I have are actually pretty important.
Okay.
The first question I have is, do you work on your watercolors at an angle? Because there are a lot of watercolor artists that will swear by having, your palette or whatever surface you're painting on set up at anywhere from a 15-degree to a 45-degree angle as you're painting to allow gravity to affect it. Do you paint totally flat? Do you paint at an angle?
It depends on what I'm painting, for sure. So the plein air stuff, I'll paint at like a little angle, because like for landscapes and things, I'll get certain effects by allowing my hand to just let the water move. So if I'm flat, I will just kind of suffer by spreading around, but if I have that little angle, I can put a lot of water down and get that first like horizontal line. Really, like my hand just naturally goes like that from tattooing as well. And I'll let that water just drip down and saturate that whole bottom half. But if I'm doing something like this, where I want no drippies, I want no splashies, I lay it flat. So it depends on what I'm doing and what effects I am. Sometimes I'll like do a whole thing and I'll just like and like blow on it and like move it around, because watercolor is fun like that. But yeah, typically it always depends on like what kind of trick I want to do, because watercolor does stay liquefied for a long time. If you start off with a big wash, you can literally move it around your page like a pan, and just kind of like have it do different shapes and different forms. So you don't even need watercolor, a brush really, to do like all the techniques with watercolor. You can even let gravity do it. So some people have a certain style and a certain method, and they just do that for every painting. And that's probably why they have particular like ways that they paint. But I've never really thought about it. I've never given myself a like like that's my, that's my rule. I've never given myself a rule. I've just always kind of like, what kind of effects do I want this painting to have? And then I approach it and I attack it that way. Because yeah, so it's different per painting, I'd say.
Okay. Final question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend doing to preserve the light fastness of the color after the painting is finished?
There is UV sprays that you can get. And I will always keep my paintings in a sketchbook until I'm ready to frame it. And then I always get the UV protectant glass. So I don't spray everything I do. But usually my masters I keep in, like I put them in between like a nice paper, like a parchment paper. And I archive them so they stay nice and flat and protected because I scan these guys and I make prints off of them. So, but I try to archive them that way. So I'm not like messing with like if I use any charcoal or a lot of graphite like around, then I will spray it with a fixative because that can smudge over time. But light fatness is it's really good to, yeah, there's UV sprays, so you're not just using hairspray, you're using like an actual, you'll see it, the store, it says UV protected spray for watercolor and charcoal and things like that. And I can't remember any brands at the top of my head. Or get UV protected glass. And so you can get that at your framers, maybe Michael's, I'm not really sure, but I have a framing gal named Rose and she's wonderful. And so I'll tell her if I, want something UV protective or not, depending on where I'm going to put it, but usually I get the UV protected glass no matter what. Sometimes they have a little texture to them. So that's really what dictates like what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Now, nylon bristles, or do you prefer natural bristles?
Ooh.
The ultimate debate.
Oh, this is so ethical. I think of it like furs. If it works just the same, use the nylon. But if you got an old brush laying around, that's real. I mean, I'll use it because it's there. But I do feel guilty if any animals are harmed in any way for anything in my life. So yes, I've even gone so far as like thinking, can I use my own hair? Can I use my cat hair? Can I use, because yes, I also used to play the violin until I realized what the rosin was made out of. And then, yeah, that's my personal ethical thing. But, if they are natural, I just like to make sure that they're nicely sourced and nothing was too harmed. But usually like, what is it? There's not even nylon. There's like other materials that have currently been used. So yeah, I don't know. That's a personal question.
I wasn't even looking at it more from the ethical standpoint, but if you've noticed the difference between, the pigment load that you can carry with a synthetic bristle versus a natural bristle, which you feel holds more water or flows better.
I feel even the shape of the bristles and how they're set. If you were to relate it to tattooing, sometimes you'll have needles that are too tightly packed into a tip where you can't get that well of ink down through the tip and the needle. So it's all how it's shaped. So a lot of times I'll find some really nice nylon brushes that are just made well and they're plump and they're big and they hold water really well. And then same thing as natural. Sometimes I can't even tell the difference. So I mean, I say to everyone, like if you want to try both, go for it and see what works better for you. Because also you're thinking of like different like painting styles too. There's so many variables just like tattooing, but no, I found some synthetics that are just as good as the naturals. They've gotten really, really spectacular with that. But I also paint in a very particular way that's, I don't think I would notice, to be honest. Like even how I oil paint is real weird. I'm finding out. So yeah, like for the way that I paint, I don't see a difference. But some people live their life by like no naturals or nothing, or anything like that.
That's
So
why I asked, because
yeah,
you have what I like to call the purists out there that are like,
yes.
if this isn't a $90 pure sable,
Yeah.
so company 12,000 brush, I'm not going to use it.
I'm not going to use it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, bro, whatever, or girl, whatever. Because I
Meanwhile,
mean,
I'm
yeah,
sitting over here with like my Crayola watercolor set, like,
yeah, like
cheapo,
I
like
got this.
30 cent a piece brush.
I got this from IKEA. Yeah, like I think being poor taught me to just learn the tool that I have, and when I got a really nice tool, I still was like, yeah, it's nice, but I know I can still use this other thing. So I kind of have like, I'll save certain things for certain projects, but really it's about the shape of the brush coexisting with type of brush it is, if that makes any sense.
It does.
And I stand around the brush section and I feel every brush and I feel the shape and I kind of mess with it and I'm sure they hate me, but I'm very respectful with the brushes. But I really, really see how it's shaped. And I can kind of imagine just by, kind of tossing it around, because you have to think of when they're making these things, they have a jig, but they're still crimping metal to these like fibers. And not every fiber is going to be the same. Not every crimp is going to be the same. So if you're just counting on those things, you're not going to get the tool you need. It's like finding a machine, right? Like coil machines, you'll go around and you'll like play with the springs, you'll listen to it, you'll mess with it first to see if it's like something you're familiar with. And so I'd say if you find a brush that you really like, remember how it felt. Remember what the action was when you're using it to paint. Remember how it flowed. Remember what you liked about it. So when you go to the art store again, you can look for that same thing. Because I'll like really grab the same brand, the same style of brush, the same size, and I'll feel all of like I'll grab 5 and I'll like feel all of them individually, and I will find one that is different. So every brush is different. There's no way for that to be like an exact science. Every brush has its own special little flaw or a special little thing. Even if it is nylon and made by robots, there's no way to get every single thing accurate on every brush. It's like it's too archaic, so yeah, it's not a mold.
I'm
It's a
really
jig.
happy to hear I'm not the only one that stands in a brush aisle for like hours at a time.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Each
It's
one's
like,
got its own personality, and you might sit there
mhm.
and feel
Gotta
one
talk
of one
to
type
it.
and it's just a little bit different.
Uh-huh. Yep, just a little bit different. So you got to move on, feel the other one. Yeah, I'm really into that, but that's where I'm a purist, where I like to speak, same thing with finding my wood for my boards for painting. I like search them out. I like try to investigate them as much as possible. I'm like, what does this one say to me? Is this the one? Could I paint on this?
Speak to me, Wood.
Speak to
Where
me,
did you
wood.
come from? What
Where
is
did
your
you come
story?
from? Tell me your tale. Yes, exactly. And maybe that makes me insane. Maybe that makes me, who knows, but it works. And I think that's what's so cool about art, besides like learning how to use those functions of your brain. It makes you like really discover who you are as just a person with elements, because we're like, that's all we're doing. We're pushing elements around. And we have to have some kind of relationship with those elements to be able to know how to push them around. Like they're consistent, but yet they're free flowing, but yet I know how to control them because I've worked with them so much. If you work with something long enough, you'll be able to learn it. You learn how it acts. It's its own character. It's its own being. So I feel like if there's nothing wrong with using cheaper or synthetic brushes, if you're comfortable with using them and you find your comfort using, because honestly, if you look in my brush hoard, as I call it, I mean, I've got everything.
Oh,
I've got the $200 brush. I've got the $2 brush. I got the brush I got from IKEA. I've got the brush from, I have palettes that are made of like weird things that were cut out of big hard plastic chunks. I've got, I've got, yeah, it's a mixed bag. because also like I just know that I have some projects where I'll have to sacrifice a brush, as I call it, you know, where I'll be using like a weird medium that will gunk up something and I don't, you know, like, well, or I know that I'm going to paint like, you know, a series with a couple different brushes, but I don't want to use the $90 brushes on like 5 paintings that, you know, I'll use like, you know, so it really it depends on what you're used to, and they're all tools. So yeah, you can look at your project and see what kind of tool do I want. You don't have to do any like precise, I don't know, there's no algorithm for that. That is like
I was just trying to
universal.
get your own personal perspective and opinion on it.
Oh yeah, that is it. That's like free for all. What works for you? But just make sure, you know, if you're using watercolor, use a watercolor brush. If you're using acrylic, make sure you use something, you know, because it's really sad when you use an oil brush on like acrylic and then it gets all gunky and weird. And then it's really sad when you use like a really soft watercolor brush or like a watercolor brush with an oil, you know, it's like, you can have some
Sometimes you
problems.
got to do what you got to do. I mean,
Yes. But you know,
I was
try your
using this
best.
guy earlier, and this one was specifically made for like watercolors, but I'm working on a painting that's so small that it's tough for me to find good brushes that can get into all the tiny little nooks and crannies.
Yeah, Games Workshop has got some really great selection on tiny brushes because of all the miniatures. So I use and makeup brushes.
I love
Sometimes I'll
brushes. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Right there.
yeah, makeup brushes, especially like for cat eyes and stuff. But some of those are the finest made tiny little brushes ever, because they're in between a pinstriping brush and they're in between like a short acrylic brush. And that's what they're made to do. They're made to do a little swoop. So they have a really nice fine tip. They're really well made. And they're usually cheaper than art brushes because they're made for just makeup and they make them in surplus. And yeah, some of those are like the best, like little tiny brushes for details that I have ever found. It's cool to be doing makeup sometimes. But I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just get sets for my family and I'll like find like one brush and like a pack of like, really shitty like brushes. And I'll like, ooh, that brush is rad. And I'll find like one that's awesome.
Oh, what's a good one? Nail brushes too, like nail art brushes.
Yes.
My best brushes are nail art brushes.
Mm-hmm.
Never even thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that either. No, I think I have one. But it's not,
that I have.
I got enamel on it.
Let me see. It's in here. I have 2.
Yeah, show it off.
If I can find them in my mess right now. By the way, you guys were right with the varnish. It worked.
Yay!
I'll show that well. So
oh yeah, there you go. Evens everything right out.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Look at that, and that's gallery ready.
Yep. Ship it, stamp it. No, let it dry. Ship it, stamp it.
Put a classy little wax seal on it.
Yep. Here's my certificate of authenticity.
It's just so insane to me how black this is. Like,
yeah, it's black.
That is a literal black. You can almost see my phone reflection through that thing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I love that black so much. Oh,
I love it. It's the greatest thing I've ever found.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like a regulation where you can't be associated with Anish Kapoor?
Oh, is there?
So if I'm correct in what I'm saying, and I could be wrong, disclaimer, could be wrong.
Okay.
But Anish Kapoor, and I'm pretty sure that's the guy's name, was one of the co-inventors of Vanta Black, which is actually a carbon nanotube paint that is scientifically proven to absorb 99% of all like spectrum light.
Oh, that's that one? Okay.
Yeah, it's used by like, you know, DARPA and the NSA and
They make cars.
Science.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it literally will completely and totally absorb visible light waves.
Cool.
He was one of the co-inventors, and he took it and patented it and copyrighted it, and no one else is allowed to use it unless he gives them the okay.
Yeah, but I thought he's the one who gave the free rights to it, and it's the guy who made the pink that wasn't down with sharing. I could be wrong too.
I think it's the same guy.
Is it the same guy? Oh,
I
thought
mean,
he
I'll
gave
look
it
it
up.
up real quick, but
yeah, look it up. I don't
Yeah,
have these
Jason, look
capabilities.
it up.
Look it up.
but I know that part of the deal with Vantablack, which is the original like blackest black ever, Vantablack, yeah, Anish Kapoor. Note, by adding this product to your cart, you confirm that you are not Anish Kapoor. You are in no way affiliated to Anish Kapoor. You are not purchasing this item on behalf of Anish Kapoor or an associate of Anish Kapoor.
He's not
To
even
the best
allowed
of
to
your
buy
knowledge,
it.
information, and belief, this material will not make its way into the hands of Anish Kapoor.
Oh my God. That's petty and hilarious.
And that's on the Black 3.0 website, by the way.
Holy moly, that's hilarious.
They have a whole
And-
disclaimer and everything.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's funny. That's some petty shit. That's good.
This is I have two. So this is one nail brush that has like a nice like point to it. It's
Mhm.
got like the little rubbers. And then I have another one that's just a flat brush, but it's got like the nail art thing on the back.
Oh, you know, that thing could be used too. That little sticky rubber thing, that thing could be used too to push around some stuff.
Yep.
I didn't think
So if
of
you make
that.
a quick little mistake real quick, you just shake.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
Vantablack,
Uh-huh.
Vanta actually stands for vertically aligned nanotube array.
Okay.
And
makes
it
sense.
was actually grown. It has to be grown
What?
from a
What?
chemical vapor disposition process.
Oh.
It was originally developed by Surrey Nanosystems in the UK, and it absorbs below it reflects below 1.5% of light in the visible spectrum.
Oh.
It absorbs 99.965% of visible light.
Wow.
This is according to Wikipedia, by the way.
Yeah, I would like my room painted that color. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it traps all types of visible light and reflects next to none of it. It is, I mean, it's literally grown, so it's extremely expensive to use just because of the process in order to make it.
Yeah.
And a sprayable paint used to randomly align carbon nanotubes at very high levels of absorption from ultraviolet to the tetrahertz spectrum has been exclusively licensed to Anish Kapoor's studio for artistic use.
I really love that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's what you need to do with Oklahoma Thunder. Be like, no one can use it. Renee Little especially.
No. I
Especially
did not
not
come
Renee
up with
Little.
that color. That color has been used, and it's an important color definitely in the painting realm. So I
You
cannot
came up
discard
with it. In my world, that is your color.
If I can share this real quick, and I don't know, yeah. Just to give you guys an idea of Vantablack and like what it can do.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is a piece of crumpled aluminum foil.
Oh, so cool. That's
Yeah.
the coolest piece of foil ever.
Wow,
This is a beamer painted with
What?
Vantablack.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I should do that to my
That's
rogue.
crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, but good luck
Those-
getting a hold of Vanta Black because, yeah, you can't get it unless you pay an absorbent amount of money to Anish Kapoor. So, just to give you guys an idea.
Amish Kapoor, come on, give it up.
Yeah, right?
Right? I would love to use that as a background. That'd be cool.
Nothing but inspirations and examples to each other. Nothing else.
Mhm.
We have no other obligation to anybody else other than to be an inspiration and example for the next generation. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amish Kapoor, you need to give it up.
Anish Kapoor is making some very capitalist decisions.
Yes, he is. It's not very artist of you, senor.
Oh, thank you guys so much for telling me to put that varnish on. So much better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, varnish.
That's what we're here for. Well, it was
Yeah,
Jason's idea, but that's what
I
we're
just kept messing with like all the values and stuff like that. And I keep telling myself in my head, I'm like, it's not the values, it's just that there's different satins going on.
yeah, there's different textures. That'll always change shit around.
So I hate to ruin the party, but the exercise with guys starting in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. Oh. Well, hey
You don't have
guys,
to go
thanks for
home, but you can't
yeah, we
stay
all
here.
I know we gotta I should probably go too. But no, thanks guys for joining me in this paint night. This was really fun.
You're very,
And I
very
think-
welcome.
Yes, yes. So let's do it again next month because I'm going to be on the very last Monday of every month now, I believe. Yes, Gabe. Yes, yes. And
It
yeah,
was
I'm gonna-
well, whatever Monday it is the fourth Monday, the
it's
last
the
Monday?
the last Monday of every month.
Perfect.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I can only do one a month at this point, but yes, every last Monday of every month. I'm sticking to it because winter is going to be weird. And I struggle with the sad. So this stuff makes me happy, and talking to you guys makes me happy, and painting with people makes me happy. So I'm really glad, Gabe, that I can do this. So thank you. And yeah, guys, come and join me. I think we're gonna have some other people too later on. The holidays was a little weird, so we can make it a big deal. It'll be really fun. And I think I'm just gonna keep painting birds. Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
People are real- Huh? Yeah, everyone can just join me because I'll do octopuses or birds. That's really where I'm at. And yeah, if anyone has ever any questions, like this is the place to ask. So this is great. This is like a great little paint community during like these weird COVID times and during winter. We're all far away from each other. So I think it'd be really healthy for us to keep doing it. And yeah, just being part of the community is pretty rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
You're like,
Um,
yeah, from the Sandlot.
Yes, I am.
Gabe, I am probably going to be a couple of minutes late to class because I'm going to go and grab something to eat real quick.
Sounds good. Cool. Actually, I'm okay. Well, actually, I'm gonna click the button.